My city's gonna tell you the tale. Everyone was left in the veil. My time won't come to an end. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around and keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting for my life. So keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting. I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life. I'm fighting. Yeah, I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life. I'm fighting. The ash keep burning down. No, you won't hear a sound. The screaming bottled within. Take a look around and keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting for my life. So keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting. And I'll be fighting for my life. So keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting for my life. So keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone, and I'll be fighting.
I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend.
You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation? Man, it's so damn complicated. Where do I start, where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts destroying me. Some peace of mind is all I need, give peace to all of my family. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. Try but can't get through to me. It's not you, yeah, it's always me. I close my heart to you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep. The weather always makes my nose bleed, makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life, I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need. You push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me. Go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you're everything I need, but I gotta leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. Cause you think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. Ooh, you wanna come and get me, kick me down and make me hurt myself. Oh no, you will never forget me. I'm imprinted on your heart, I swear. At times you make me angry, but I know that it could always be worse, be worse, be worse. Baby, baby, now I'm trying to forget you. Baby, I know everything that was about you. No, I'm joking, I'm looking for the bathroom. Round and around, yeah, round and around we go. Picture perfect, but so many flaws that stopped you. I don't wanna ever see you in the same.
Welcome to the Blitz gaming series, or just Blitz. I'm here with Retro, here to cast a great game. It is going to be Mormon Battalion versus the Unks. What do you see going into this game, Retro?
A lot. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a brawl between these two teams. They faced up before. Last time they faced up, I believe, was XGS Season 7 in the playoffs, the quarterfinals. Mormon came out on top 2-1 after falling to whatchamacallit. They fell to Memcares afterwards. But Unks took map 174, Bank went 8-6, and then 7-2 Consulate for Mormon Battalion to take that series. So I think Mormon has it in the bag today. But what about you?
You know, just to create some divide, I'm going to say the Unks. They've been in this scene for so long. That's the reason they're called the Unks, the old-timers. I think they'll use their experience to get it done tonight. But we're going to see how this game will go through. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to map bans next to see which maps will go through in this battleground.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what map plans are going to fall to. I'm thinking Mormon's always been a big cafe plan. They've been a fan of cafe. They played it against us back when I played BGS Season 1 against them. I'm confident that's what they're going to follow with. I'm thinking for Unks, it's going to be more bigger maps that they can run around. They can cause a lot of chaos. Making anything open, Bank, Night Haven, those big maps where flanks are possible. It's a good put pressure in a lot of different areas, but who knows? Depends on what these teams come down to. Are they going to play to their strengths, or are they going to play to the weakness of the other team?
before we go to map bans, actually, I think we'll look at the rosters first to see how each team will be favoring up against each other. To see who is actually playing tonight, obviously, on either rosters. If you're not familiar, here's going to be Mormon Battalion. We'll have Cassia, Exige, Volsper, Aimkey, and Scoob. Sadly, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Aimkey will not be playing tonight. He is going to be subbed out, cannot play due to some circumstances, and it will be scary subbing in for him. Another known player, a great player. He's familiar playing with this roster, subbed in during qualifiers. And again, you said it before, top 4 in XGS, and most recently able to qualify for closed-off major quals. And now we're going to be going on to see what the Unks will line up with. And you can take us through that roster, Retro.
Righty, Unks. They've made some roster changes between XGS up until now. Engage is filling in tonight. They've kept Millie, Sta, and Zalaris with the original roster going back from XGS. But Unstoppable and Engage are the 2 new players. I know Matt's taking over Dead Spot. Don't fully remember who played in place of Unstoppable last time. But new roster, new opportunities for this team. Obviously, they're looking to strike back since XGS. Hopefully tonight they can open up the season with a win against these guys. Obviously looking for a 2-0, but anything's possible on the board here. Players, new opportunities, new basis for the season of BLITZ.
It's seeming like they're going to be bringing the boom tonight, and we're going to see what maps they're going to be bringing the boom on in our next sequence. I'm very excited to see. You said Cafe could be on the board. I'm just curious to see what will be on the board. I have not seen the maps, so take it away. Let's see what they are.
Yeah, a little bit like I was saying. They started off with the Chalet and Border Band. I was taking a look at it earlier. Mormon Battalion's never been a big fan of Chalet and Lair. That's been one of their most primary band maps. Same thing for Unks. They don't like staying away from default or small maps. Border and Club, very high bands on their part. Something they love to go through too. Obviously, I think that, like I said, they're going to stick to bigger maps. Unks taking it to Mormon Battalion. Like I said, this is a team that likes to cause chaos. They love to get aggressive and love to be able to take it fast if possible. Whereas Mormon Battalion, they play with a little bit more structure, a little bit more of an identity in the rounds with a clear, more cut goal than Unks does. But obviously, that team is not afraid to take space and obviously get into positions wherever they can.
Now we'll see the remainder of these map bans, see if the Cafe pick will be coming out here. A map that obviously Mormon like to play a lot.
And yeah, first pick comes out, Cafe on the board. This team loves Cafe, love being able to play from the windows, dumping a lot of utility and obviously putting pressure through that side of the board. Bank, it's a little bit of a surprise ban on my part for me. With Unks, like I said, that's a team that loves causing chaos throughout the map. But let's see what maps they've picked. And yeah, by the looks of it, we had 2 banks on our end. Obviously, the decider's going to fall to Consulate. I'm assuming from what I was tracking, Night Haven was going to be our map 2. Unks picked that map. Like I said, they went in and decided that they wanted to go in and cause, like I said, I think Night Haven's a type of map where there's a lot of different areas you can take fast points of pressure and get ground quick. Depending on how you choose to take it. It's not.
Well, looking at these maps, we'll see, as Retro was saying, Night Haven is going to be our second map going on the board. The graphics, don't worry about that. It's going to be here. It will be Night Haven. It's a great map to be proven on, of course. Always fun to play. Cannot wait to see how this map is going to go through. But Consular as a decider, as I recall, I'm pretty sure both Night Haven and Consular were actually played by Mormon to decide the game out. Welcome back, Retro. I was just saying how Night Haven and Consulate were both played by Mormon in their closed game to get them to the league. So that will give Unks a little bit of an advantage. Maybe they would have studied that game, given them a little bit of tips on how Mormon like to play this map. The only thing is, obviously, Mormon, they don't have aim key here. They're going to have to play with Scary, and no matter what it is, even if you've played with that sub before, it's always hard to come back to against a full-fledged roster with a sub on your board.
Yeah. And I think we're looking to try and get here with Cafe here in a little bit. Like I said, I'm feeling confident that Mormon's going to take this series. Obviously, I think Mormon's in a little bit of more of a favorable spot. They have 2 maps on the board in Consulate and Cafe, both maps that they're very comfortable in and love to play. They, like you said, they played it through close ball. They played it a fair bit through XGS, and obviously, I think Unks obviously are going to look to make aggressive plays, flying out windows, running out. They're going to look to try and play that pick early on the board, putting Mormon in positions where they have to cover spots that open up gaps throughout the map. But let's see.
Let's see, indeed, both teams are, and we're going to be getting into the game very shortly. And the last time I saw Mormon play Cafe was in Blitz, it was in the qualifiers, it was against O-Block, another team that eventually did qualify. They actually lost. They lost it 8-7 in the end, a very close game. But I'd say the Unks are on a very similar skill level to O-Block, so I could see it being very close. We're going to see the opening bans out here for the Unks to ban the first hacker. Surprising if it's not Monty, to be completely honest.
I think Montang and Valk. There you go. You are correct
Yeah.
with the Montang ban coming out on the board here on the side of Unks. Obviously, shields have been very powerful in this type of meta. Allows a lot of grounds to be taken to force defenders out of positions with the Montang and shield. Just the way you can sprint at people without having, to swing wide like you used to be. Mormon's attacking ban. Gonna come out here. I'm thinking, I was thinking Ying, but Do could be on the board. Obviously, she caught a little bit of a nerf on the board where now she has a timer between when she can call, so she doesn't get just 2 calls off the rip. But it allows still a lot of opportunities. You just gotta give it some time. Your second ban, Zami, very powerful in piano, very powerful in a lot of different sites on this map. You can literally hold down different positions with the Zami. The top floor, piano is the big primary area of the map with these guys. And the last ban from the Unks being Valk, another common ban. I think Montang and Valk have been the top 2 bans for this team throughout all their matches, or most of their matches that they've played. Where do you think they're going first, Milo?
I'm going to say one of the middle floors. It's a very... Oh, that might have been completely wrong. It's going to be Kitchen being starting off. I was going to guess the middle floor is very strong bomb plays that allows you to play so much vertical control. It's what you always like. Obviously, top floor is very phased out nowadays because how much window play you can actually have. How much advantage you can have just staying outside those windows. The one thing from the bans that I probably should have guessed, the Dokkaebi. I'm pretty sure throughout quals, Mormon have banned Dokkaebi every single map. They've loved to ban that Dokkaebi, and it's been very strong for them.
Yeah, Vigil's being brought out on the board with the Blush G. Definitely the type of weapon you do not want to catch yourself in the sights of. Bless getting the opportunity to run it here. Guy's a shooter. Probably going to play more of a 2-3-man roam early on. Look to cause pressure on this roam. BLITZ being brought on the side of Mormon Battalion. Just because Montang's gone doesn't mean shields are all gone. Obviously, I'm looking to see probably a bakery side take. Flooding in faster the bakery door with Blitz. You have the Nomad to cut off small bake on the double door. Throw an air jab up there and cut the flank off. Or this could be a very easy top down. Use the Blitz to kind of guide the roam clear. Follow him behind, maybe Buck or Ash. Convert quick on these guys. And by the looks of it, Zalaire's going to try something aggressive.
It's not going to land on that spawn peak. I would favor towards the bakery, but never mind, it's going to Volspers taking out Scary. So the opening pick goes to the side of Mormon Battalion, but technically it's the Unks opening pick, seeing how it is Mormon Battalion's player that's died. Well, a freebie for Volsper technically. And now we're going to see how they're going to get into this building while being a man down. Especially with the fact it's going to be probably your entry player in Scary down without the Ash charges to maybe help you get rid of the shield here.
Yeah. Or whether they use the Blitz to kind of funnel in there. That option's not going to happen real well anymore with the fact that, Ash is off the board. Great first pick and something that's being looked for on the side of Unks. Like I said, they wanted to take a lot of first picks here. Uh-oh. We got
I was going to say... Huh? We on pause? Are we still casting? I mean, I see this, because, like, when it
whatsoever.
Attackers drop the bomb diffuser.
Oh, Volsford, he's got 3 of the 5 kills. He's going to need to ace to get this round out for him. Oh, Cade and Warner are going to play it together. Bongs are going to manage to take the first round. Didn't even have to get the first entry. Yeah, they did. Refresh. Well, Kitchen's going to go in the favor of
okay.
Bongs. Definitely not an ideal situation to be able to get a TK to start off your blitz, but if for those who have bingo cards, there it is.
Yeah, never a way you want to start your round, but that could also mean that
Defenders protect
Mormon
your
probably
bombs from
talked
being
that round off,
defused
being
by
like,
attackers.
hey, we had a really awful start to the round. We had a TK in the first like 5 seconds. Boaster even was able to get 4 kills in the round, including Scary. So even though that round probably was close, seeing how it probably came down to like maybe a 2v1, a 2v2, going down between Mormon and Unks. Even with that TK, they probably could have done better, maybe keeping it level-headed. So they'll go into this round maybe more confident than discredited, as they would probably be like, hey, without that TK, we should have won that last round.
I'm trying to see if they're going to play a horizontal extension or more for a top 4 focus, but obviously with the mirror on their Rooney on the board, Rooney can be used to cover,
Seconds left.
yeah, they're going to use the Rooney to cover up probably these mirrors for any burn through the windows maybe. Obviously you can still get on the rappel. Castle's on the board here to cut off a lot of angles. I'm assuming Mormon, with the lineup they're bringing, it's going to be a hefty mining and piano side clear here on their part. By the looks of it, we're playing more of a vertical extension here. They're going to put a lot of fight on that top floor here, look to drown out as much time to the top floor, making Mormon's job hard to get the clear needed. But it might be a bottom up here.
The only thing is with being a bottom up, you then are exposing yourself to those vertical holes. You need to find a way to at least discourage them off this area. Unless you're wait, look at this, a beautiful aggressive early take from Scary, already up into the machine area. Now looking for this pick onto Dead, the Cade. Scary just waiting for them maybe to misread. The drones go in, they know exactly where he is, and Scary aggressively pushes up, but doesn't get the kill.
Wow.
Somehow missing too many bullets, and Dead gets the opening frag. Again, it's Scary to go down in the opening engagement.
I mean, Cade's not far from going down either. He's in a low situation, but he's holding the position for a lot longer. Scary. The opening kill back-to-back rounds. Good way to take the fight. I like the way he played the aggression. Unfortunately, just a lost fight on his part. Obviously, Dead's still, although he's on 8 HP, he's still going to be a thorn in the side of Mormon Battalion. Obviously, that was ground they were looking for. Now, whether they were looking to just funnel through mining right into sight, or if they were just looking to clear that guy out. Now, they got him in position to be able to cut him off here through the guy in the window, and there it is. Cass is going to be able to take out Dead here, finally clearing out that position. It looks like they're adjusting more to a dining take rather than through vert, but they do have to be careful with Rooney being stuck up on that train hatch here. And yep, just like I was worried it's going to get popped, now it's a new way to take him on. They're going to have to end up sliding a player over the piano windows if they want to be able to clear him out and, you know, be able to get this push through dining if they want to execute.
They do have that player on the window, so Scoob is out there, and I don't think he really knows, and he will be able to get that free pick. And now the Mormon Battalion have this mad advantage. They can slowly start going for the execute. You see Exige on the Capital outside the dining window. Oh no, wait, he's just watching for a run-up maybe, as the Mute is walking down those white stairs, maybe going for that advantage, maybe looking for that pick. Neither player going to come into each other's limelight, but I feel like Exige will definitely be the man going through that dining window with the Capital Smokes to maybe discourage the viewers of... Never mind. Completely disregarding what I'm saying, he's going to be going up to the white window, looking maybe to just catch a player off at the moment, but with 30 seconds left, this diffuser will have to go down at some point.
And by the looks of it, Unstoppable's a little too late on trying to get that peek out, but Scoop's back on the that side of the building that they were trying to take. Sta has the vert control right now. He was not cleared, but really nothing was put pressure on the top floor. It's always kind of meant to be direct. Exige, though, he's going to manage to get the plant down, which he does. Cass takes out Unstoppable here, and Volsper takes out Exige, but after taking out the castle here, Sta in a 1v3 scenario is going to go ahead and drop pill, looking to get aggressive here onto the gridlock. He's getting hit by the tracks. Not in a favorable position here. Cass is going to go ahead and finish off the layers. The Nitro is going to go out. Sta is unable to hit anything right now, trying to get rid of this gridlock, but no favorable position for him to be in. He's stuck in between a pinch here. And oh, he is going to manage to take out Scoop before Volser finally takes him out there. Mormon Battalion strikes back with a round of their own.
Volsberg really needs to stop killing his teammates. That's 2 TKs in 2 rounds. That's very impressive. Like he says in chat, he does not like his team. But the thing I really liked from Mormon there, yes, they didn't get the upstairs control, but they not only smoked the vertical holes, but then, just for added pressure, Exige planted in an off area. He didn't plant default, he planted on the other side, so then even when the mirror was pre-firing the normal default location, no shots landed, because Exige just wasn't even there to be shot.
Yeah, like you were saying, Mirror looking for that spot on that default plant. Exige deciding to go deep instead. Nitro almost caused a thorn in the round, stopping the plant, but they were able to get the kill off in time. That way Exige can go ahead and get the plant down before deciding to, you know, get a second TK of the game, you know, working his stats up. He's technically 6-1 right now. I do really like the fact with the way that Mormon played the round. Scary went down, obviously, in a gunfight that probably should have won, but things happen. It's Rainbow. It's just like any other esport. Sometimes situations don't go in your favor. I like the way Mormon continued to put the pressure on the Cade, clearing him out. Obviously, it took a little bit longer than intended to, but they were still able to manage the round really well, taking him out and keeping the focus of the push. And then even then, after clearing out that Cade, they decided to make a rotate play before finishing and reading. So I like the way they stay focused on their job. They don't let losing a man stop. Oh, and Zolaris, by the looks of it, putting words in my mouth, trying to take a spawn peek, but he goes down injured. Dead takes a lot of damage too. Now Unk stuck in a situation where 2 people are one tap. Obviously one can go down, but Zolaris on his final life here.
Obviously, even being 1 tap away, they can still get their own 1 tap with this being a one-shot headshot game. But the thing is, we haven't noted on, is a site change. It will be the dining and mining site instead of being the dining and reading. It's just to see how this will change maybe the push coming out from Mormon and how this will change the Unk's defense. It's still going to be that same vertical hold, but maybe more focused to make sure they have that piano control, as that's the main above-sight vertical control you need to make sure no plant go down. Big Siege already getting this white corridor control, but does he know that Zolaris is still stuck inside Freezer as he gets the first pick onto the Arena of Bless?
He's going to get the first pick here, obviously. That puts Mormon Battalion in a great position, taking the ground that they need. No Warden on the board, so obviously any position that Ying's going to be is going to cause a lot of issues for the side of the Unks, but I don't think they know that Zolaris is sitting inside Freezer, because he's just going to push in, and Zolaris, just like I said, with no intel on his position, he's going to manage to capitalize 1 back onto Exige. I think Exige, though, managed to get his job done. He was able to get in, utilize his Candelas in the way he needed to use them, and find a pick. Obviously, Zolaris and Dead both still absolutely low on HP, no way to recover that HP lost, but even like you were stating, Zolaris was able to find one, whether he was on 20 or whether he was on 100 here. Coming down to the final minute, Volsper, inner bar right now. They're walking in. He's got Scoop following up behind him. They still know that this guy is going to be inside of Freezer here, and they're going to look to try and play for the clear here. Going ahead and pushing him out of position. They're going to start... Nobody on the CS side. They're going to start falling down. Stuz coming for the reinforcements here. They have no clue Stuz here. There he is. Unstoppable is going to manage to find a pick onto Volsper himself. The rest of the team coming to assist. Obviously, Zolaris being able to move around. There's no intel on his position. Stuz also there, which they have no clue on. Bunch of players low on HP. What can you do if you don't know where they're at? Cass going to manage to find the pick on Zolaris here. Stu, the only person with high HP. No idea that he's there. He's going to manage to take out Scoop here. Continuing to keep the man count in their favor against the Mormon Battalion here. Cass is going to look to make a position onto this guy. He's going to be stuck in the bathroom, and he's still not going to be able to kill Stu. Stu is holding that bathroom down on the front lines. Scary, no 1v3 situation here. Too low on HP, but not going to be able to fire a single shot. Round 1 by the Unks.
The early HP game really didn't matter at the end, because it felt like a bit of maybe negligence. Obviously, Jake able to get, or Exige able to get a very early advantage, just pushing, getting the white or control, getting the opening pick. Finally wasn't actually scary. He was the last one alive in that round for once. But it just felt like maybe lack of information after that. Exige took the ground, no one was in behind him. No opportunity for a refrag. He was there basically solo to die. And then there was just no information on the rest of the players, rest of the defenders, as they were just able to lurk around, get so many picks without trades coming out. I think that was the main problem. More trades need to be established from Mormon, especially in that last round.
I think, like you were saying, just being able to keep eyes on the flanks too. They opened up a lot of phantom pressure throughout the board. Onk's able to identify what was actual pressure and what was not. And like you were stating, with the lack of intel, Unks was able to make flanks and be able to send reinforcements to help Zalaris before he unfortunately fell. And then no intel, walked right up white and was able to find, what, 2 to 3 kills on them without any refrag? I mean, I think either whether cans were shot and they lost intel way too fast, or just lack of negligence on the side of Mormon Battalion to get the intel needed to find those people in positions. I think this round is going to take a lot more from them just to make sure that they're keeping cut cams and making sure that Unks can't get the assistance that they need on these extensions of these positions that they're in.
The Blitz won't come out this time when they're trying to attack this kitchen bomb site, but we will see a very much bigger roam coming out from the Unks. You'll see someone all the way on this top floor. It will be Zalaris on the Legion, but even on site, there's less of a roam. As you see, there's no extension into Bakery. They reinforce the rotation. You're going to use Decay to completely zap it off, and now we're going to see them pushing this side as they realize, hey, there's not much really anything to stop us from taking all this space for free. No EMPs really to help them though get this K clock. So there is Exceed will bring the EMPs, but obviously no fat EMPs. It'll be a lot harder to locate the Cade Claw and figure out where to throw those EMPs. Also, you just throw them at the ceiling and pray and hope. At the moment, we're going to see if Scary and Exceed will be able to get this wall open together.
Yeah, definitely being able. I like the way they're able to take control of the ground, obviously finding what's free to them and what's available. Volsper, he's going to take advantage of, I was getting ready to talk about it, getting the intel in where they need it, whereas last round was a little bit more of a struggle. Volsper's going to manage to find 2 on Stun Unstoppable. They had nobody inside coach check, and I mean, Mormon Battalion, they had 2 different drones ID that it was clear, and now Volsper holds that ground by himself. Dead, my apologies, is going to look to try and play for a flank here, maybe recontest that code check spot. Sight. Down 2 people. You have Zalaris and Bless, who are both currently on vert right now. Zalaris falling off to try and help his teammate on site. Dead by the looks of it. It's the only one. Scary's gonna go ahead and start getting the plant. Zalaris finally manages to capitalize back on 1, taking out Cass. That code check guy still causing issues for the side of Mormon Battalion, or the Unks, but quickly solved as Dead goes ahead and jumps in, looks and manages to get the pick onto them. 3v3 scenario, but you have 2 players who are both low HP and no intel in the position. And there goes Bless. Oh, Exige manages to find 2, both Bless and Zalaris in a good position. Scary takes out Dead, secures the round back for Mormon Battalion here.
I mean, that's Scary's first kill actually on the board, so he's very happy to get it in the end. Maybe it's keep him on the hard bridge because he's doing a great job there, able to get the wall with Exige, get the plant down, get a pick at the end, and then you also have Exige himself and Volsper able to get the double kills in the round. I think it's just really great control being found by Mormon. They realized where the gaps were from the Unks and took it. You saw Volsper instantly take into coat check, get 2 kills. They realized Bakery was a free spot basically. No one was in it to really stop them from taking that control, and they took it. And I think that was the difference there. You saw the intel work beautifully come out from the Mormon, and they knew what was free for them. The Unks just really need to figure out and just adapt quicker on the fly to find out what Mormon are trying to attack.
Yeah, like you were saying, I mean, I feel like they had a general idea of what the push was, but just nobody was in proper positions to be able to contest that push. I like the way Mormon was able to keep themselves out of harm's way from the vert, the visual, and the legion, trying to make vert holes to deny plant through the top, or at least deny the entry, but they were able to both smoke off the head holes and push in directions that stayed out of the line of sight and possible picks that could have been acquired by Unks if they had pushed through those vert holes, but obviously they were able to maneuver around and hit the gaps they were needed. They were able to focus on taking out the people on site first, leaving both the 2 roamers, Vigil and Legion, in a position where they were stuck having to recontest that AC window, or the mining windows, and then having to, work their way back on site with no intel. Mormon was able to take the round, but they're deciding not to go back to the first floor here. Going to take it back to Reading. They lost this round once already to Mormon Battalion. But I feel like they feel confident in the ability to be able to play. Obviously, if they don't give up any first picks, they put themselves in a favorable position. Last time, Scary was the first pick on this, so... looking to take it more of a cocktail side take here. They're going to, instead of trying to put that focus through a horizontal, they're going to put a lot more focus through top-down here. The grid's being brought Ash is going to end up being their only vert. No breach charges outside of the grid shotgun. So
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
they're going to manage to ID Oyo here. Is that going to be their first point of clear? What are you thinking, Milo?
It's looking like you see where the players are. You especially see right now. You see where the Grimbies are going out. They're definitely trying to isolate the Goyo right now. They're trying to isolate all the players on the C1 side. But the first pick comes elsewhere. Volsper will take him out around this top red area, looking for another fight on the player in Pixel. He knows BLITZ here, but Zolaris will actually be the one going down on that mirror window. But Stopple gets the refrag onto Scary. He has not been having a great day right now in terms of kills, in terms of getting those frags out. But BLITZ, he gets one, dead, gets another. It's now completely flipped onto the side of the Unks, and now it's in a 1v4 situation. Zolaris was actually able to be picked up. Cass still outside on this window. It's all left to him to get this 1v4 into his advantage. Zolaris and Dead are at least on low HP, but the rest of the players, full HP. It's going to be very hard to find any ground right now on this map.
I thought Mormon had it. They look like they set themselves up really nicely to be able to take inside of the building, but I think, again, it was a little bit of a lack of intel in certain positions. I felt like the guy whoever jumped in white, jumped in with no knowledge that Aruni was going to be there. And there it is. Les is going to manage to take out Cass to end the round. I think there was a lack of intel in that Aruni, and that caused me major problems. Like you were stating, Scary's having a slow start to his day. But compared to last season, we're stuck in best of threes here, so obviously, no matter how your first map goes, you have 2 more to recoup. Obviously, last round of the half, which looks like it's going to go back to Kitchen and Service here. I think Mormon they've played very good on trying to be direct on their pushes, but like we were talking about earlier, just a little bit of lack of intel in certain positions causing, last second mistakes, whether somebody's in a position like the way the Aruni was to be able to manage to not find one, but he found 2 on that execute. One on the White Hall and then one through eventually being through Long Bar.
They've actually currently lost 2 out of the 3 rounds. They've got the opening pick currently for Mormon. They've only won 1 round, and they were able to get they were actually able to get that round out from coming back from behind. So it's just about maybe getting their advantages and closing them out, as they're good at getting those opening picks. They've got more than the Unks, and even if you count the TK as one of the opening picks, they then have 4 opening picks. So it's more about if they can maybe use that early advantage, use that early man advantage, and just calm down, reset, and then figure out where the rest of the players are to then win the round out. But Zolaris maybe looking for an early spawn peek here.
And he is.
And he finds it!
Wow. Zolaris gonna manage to find Scoob. That's Twitch. A lot of any utility. The mirrors, the goos, even the even the Echo drones, if you're able to find them, no longer able to be attained too. And I'm pretty sure Scoob brought smokes with that. Scary and Scoob both having a slow performance on the day here. Ash looked probably, I think, clear out the first mirror if they put that on the bakery wall, which, yeah, they did. I mean, that's a good substitute. Obviously, I don't think that's the ideal where you want to put the Ash charge, maybe to clear the shields or anybody out of positions BP. They're going to identify that the mirror is going to be in bake. Mirror quickly repositioning herself, keeping her chances of going down early very slim. Obviously, Unks are now up in the count here. And it's going to be the same push relatively as it was last time. Unks are trying to force their way through bakery. No clear through top floor, the middle floor. But I think the position's going to be a little bit harder now that you're down with a man. Cass is going to toss out the Nitro. Oh, I thought Stud did the Nitro. Cass managing to take it out before it could get fatal for them. They're going to look to aggress this position on the Mira. Cass getting aggressive here, and he's going to manage to take out Studs. Zolaris quickly refragging Volsper here. Still, Unks managing to hold the count here. 4v3.
Zolaris being very strong in this round so far. A double kill for him, the spawn peek, and then the answer back onto Volsper, the same player that was able to take this coat position in the last time they attacked this kitchen bomb site. And now Zolaris is holding it down himself. It's going to be very hard for Mormon to get through this breach without maybe stopping that player in coat, but somehow they get all the way through and they're pushing deep, trying to figure out where this Echo is. But can he get a kill? No! Scary takes him out. A wonderful shot, and now it's all up to Zolaris maybe on this flank. But the drone will give the game away. They have full sight control. No Echo Cam's going to be on the favor for the Unks because he's dead. BLITZ at least has this vertical control, and the player who has the diffuser of Exige, he's still in bakery, but he's looking for this wraparound. He gets 1, he gets 2. No, Cassia and Scary actually get the kills. Exige didn't get any of them. It's all up to BLITZ now. For in this 1v3, they looked so strong for the Unks in that 4v3. Going to see if he can clutch it out on that boss tree, one of the most overpowered guns currently in this game. But even with that gun, it's going to be such a hard task for him to do.
And he's not even going to manage to get started. Cass taking out Bless to even up the half here. It's a cafe attack. Not a bad way to go 3-3. Definitely not the ideal. You put a little bit more intel in the positions where you lacked it. I think Mormon's definitely up 4-2-5-1 there. But Unk's managing to capitalize on the chaos and the lack of intel in the rounds. Mormon failed to drone or take control of areas that they were supposed to or wanted to. And, you know, Unk's managed to keep the half up. And like you were stating, Mormon Battalion, had first pick most of those attacking rounds? What was it, 4 or 5 of those rounds they managed to get first pick? Obviously not that last one, I'll tell you that.
If you count the TK, it was 4 rounds. If you count the TK, it was 4 rounds. If not, it was 3. And then the Unks got 2 disregarding the TK. Because I don't think you can count the TK as an Unks opening pick just because they didn't really work towards that pick.
Yeah, I see where you're at with it. Unks, now on the attacking side, they're going to go ahead and bring out a shield of their own. Mormon's going to go ahead and start on the first floor here with the kitchen. I think, by the looks of the lineup, it's going to be more of a horizontal take, playing to deny around the site rather than playing for above, whereas Unks was playing a 2-man roam, creating more, and then obviously looking to contest it. Oh, never mind, Volspers, are they popping the hatch? Yeah, they did. They're going to play an early roam here. Volsper starting upstairs by himself right now with the goose. Obviously, he's able to throw him in positions where he's not able to actively cover. Lets him know if anybody's trying to backstab him or flank him, possibly. By the looks of it, look and see Unks gonna start working a top-down clear, bringing the grid to cover the stairs. 3 different positions on where you can flank brown, white, and red. But yeah, they're gonna force it through a top-down here. By the looks of it, maybe they'll clear through Burt, drop the hatch, and finish for a bunker-type style plant.
Very big difference from when Mormon were attacking the kitchen bomb site, as both times Mormon went for that kitchen or the bakery take, whereas you'll see here, Unks, they want to take the full roam clear, make sure no one is on their top floor, and Exige completely unaware that the player has dropped new. Maybe down to sound or something, but he just doesn't hear the player all the way up behind him, and that's an easy opening pick for the Unks, and Scary also taking a lot of damage in bakery, all the way down to 27 HP. Blitz has so much control now, and they'll be now focusing on trying to get rid of Volsper on this second floor as well. And they know he's there. You've got the yellow pings coming out. It's all about if they can maybe just dislodge him. I think he may have... Yeah, he dropped the hatch, so he's all the way back into sight now. He realized the pressure was too strong for him. He had no one up there to help him. So, but that does mean that Unk's getting so much control already. But as I say that, Cassia, a beautiful save for onto Zolaris. Numbers are back even.
By the look, I mean, even with the man down, obviously you're losing Zolaris. I'm not going to say it's a big deal with the way that Unks has been able to make haste on the round, even losing one. Obviously, both sides are going to look to start getting aggressive and forcing out positions here. By the looks of it, Unks are going to start putting a lot of pressure on this backside, being able to identify where the execute is going to come. You have one on white stairs. Buck's currently making the vert for the bunker. Blitz has the defuse. I would assume that somebody's dropping bunker, but by the looks of it, I think the goal of this period around coming to the final minute is obviously, can you clear out VIP? If you can clear out the VIP, you can get an execute, or you can get an execute and you can get a plant down. Cass looking to fall back here into coat check. Volsper hanging back as well. They're kind of letting the warning get isolated. Last 45. They've managed to kind of drown out the round really well, stalling out to the last minute. But at the same time, too, Unk's taking all the time they need to get the final idea of where they want to plant and who's where. That way, you know, when they're dropping in, they know what's going to go down. Obviously, first being able to identify Volsper, causing him to relocate. All you're looking to do here is push Mormon back far enough you can get a plant in the last 20, even 10 seconds. Here comes the execute. They're going to go out to deny it here.
But Cassia gets the pick back, but there's a nade coming out to take down Cassia. So now it's up to Volsper, Carry, and Scoop to somehow stop this plant. The plant is slowly... No, it now is going down. Volsper looking to maybe have an advantage to stop it. And he gets down one. Doesn't get the planter down. But Blitz takes down Legion. Now it's all up to Scoop to maybe stop this plant. And it is going to be Star to put him down. But he can't get through the rotate. And the Buck above able to take him down. Beautiful cover by the Buck to maybe stop Scoop from lying that plant. Volsper nearly saving the round out as he takes down the cover. Nearly taking down the planter. But the Blitz shield gets up just in time to kill him.
Great round on the Unks. Being able to find the first pick there on the board. Exige not playing in a very great position. Brown stairs puts you it exposes you to a lot of different angles. I get the idea of maybe wanting to contest a guy in hell, but obviously you have the Ash quickly able to jump in through New Hatch and be able to get the kill on them. And then, you know, Unks lost grid, but at the same time, too, the way Unks was able to make haste, they were able to clear the position they wanted to clear. They cleared the room in, what, like a minute and 10 seconds? Took all the time they needed just to be able to focus on clearing the people they wanted out of the positions, being able to set themselves up to be favorable in the plant. They wanted control of the round, and they made sure they set it up nicely and were able to take control of the round. Obviously, that nade... Cass getting traded, but obviously getting the nade pick, leaving it in a 3v3 with 2 players that were low on HP that round. But obviously they were able to play the flank and being able to deny, they were trying to rotate, Mormon was trying to rotate around VIP to see if they could sneak in to deny the planter, and Legion almost managed to secure the round for them, just barely with the shots on BLITZ. BLITZ being able to come back and take him out and get the plant down in time, unstoppable, holding the vert really well for his teammate, making sure that we couldn't end that round there with him.
And they will change the bomb site here. They won't go for the kitchen bomb site a second time around, despite it being so close and maybe a lot of mistakes actually being made to make it go that close. We will be seeing the reading and dining bomb site coming out from the side of Mormon Battalion. This bomb site has been very strong for the defenders. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it's been won once and lost once, so 50-50 at the moment. We're going to see how Mormon has their own twist on it. We will see the common top floor hold, but without the mirror. We'll be seeing Volspot on the Fenrir right underneath the skylight. He's going to be using that as maybe a death spot here, using his Fenrir mines as activation to just pop up and get those kills. Hasn't been droned out though, so they actually have no idea he's in this position currently.
3 people upstairs doesn't look like there's a lot of utility, depending on how the Unks want to clear this, which by the looks of it is going to be a piano side across clear here. 4 people bringing up everybody to try and deny this. In a little bit of a stalemate here between both sides. The Fenrir is going to go off. Bless is going to manage to hold himself down. It's a matter of who's going to make the first strike here. And by the looks of it, it looks like Unks is going to be able to make the first strike. He doesn't manage to secure the kill onto Scoob, but drops him just enough and puts that pressure off. Now it's a matter of, can you get the intel on the final guys and clear their final positions? By the looks of it, you're going to be able to identify Exige, knowing he's there. Opening up ground bit by bit for these guys. Still, no pick yet on the board here. The BP is going to cause a little bit of trouble if somebody gets on and activates it. Who's going to go off, hit Bless in the foot? Oh, Volsper's going to manage to get the first kill on Zolaris. From where? From Pillar? Where'd he go? Bless looking to get aggressive here, trying to recapitalize for his team after losing the gridlock for the second round, first in a row. Unstoppable. Picks up the refrag there for his team. Managed to take out Exige before Cass decides to interfere with the Nitro Cell onto Unstoppable. Mormon managing to take the count again. Mormon's had a good amount of rounds that they've managed to get first pick, but haven't been able to secure the round. So I'm not really feeling too pressured with the fact that Unks are still in the driver's seat. This, never mind. Scoob's gonna take the words right out of my mouth and manage to kill Stuff from what looks to be a mile shot.
Poor from Volsper though, exposing himself, giving out the pre-fire. I'm pretty sure the kill he got earlier was actually from a machine jump out, because it felt like he killed one of the players on piano, but Cassia then gets the kill on Bless. Is all up to dead in this 1v3. Scoob's at least on low HP. The Scary and Cassia basically full on either side, and it will be Scary to get that final kill in the round, favoring much more on defense than he was on attack. And now it goes back to even up 4-4. This game is going back and forth, back and forth. No team really having a stern advantage in this game so far.
I think both teams are very confident in the fact that they're willing to fight for the first pick. Obviously, they're trying not to like over-aggress themselves in positions where they're gonna lose man unnecessarily. Obviously, apart from the round that Exige happened to die on Brown Stairs. But they're not falling off their positions in a manner that it's like you're giving Unks the ground to take. You're making them fight for it. You're making them have to burn utility. And then obviously take those 50-50 fights. Unks, I think they've stayed pretty good on being able to capitalize on refrags on Mormon Battalion. Obviously, Mormon just happened to ignore the fight, securing that round for them, evening up the count. They're going to continue the rotation here after winning that round. They're going to take the second mid-floor, being mining and dining. For these guys, the mirrors brought out on the board. It's pretty standard, I would say, somewhat of like an old SSG-style setup. You have the mirror for train. Doc's probably going to end up playing in Cocktail. The Fenrir's used to cover the flanks on any positions. Obviously, Mel covering using maybe Hell Door, stairs, any jump-ins or fast positions where Unks may try to take here.
5 seconds left before insertion.
You also see if Scoop is going for... No, I was going to say if Scoop is going for Spawn Peak. Maybe just... Yeah, just prep the window actually for a jump out later on when the players are maybe setting up outside that train window to get that plant down. The interesting point is going to be, again, Volsport on that Fenrir looking to maybe play in and around that skylight again like he did in that last round. Scary going to be the main player on site, obviously the Warden to maybe deny a flash rush, as Ying is actually still on the board, and we haven't seen Ying come out that much often, surprisingly. I'm pretty sure it was once on the side of Mormon, as Exige played it at least once, I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And now they're looking to maybe go for that top down at the moment.
Nitro out does not connect on nobody. Yeah, the Nitro on the side of Scary, trying to see if he can capitalize on one. By the looks of it, Onks are going to take this a little bit more direct on these guys, obviously looking to put pressure on the piano side, maybe push defenders back into a position where they can't be covered, and Siege gonna lose most of his HP by, I'm assuming, what's gonna be the cocktail side, but with Doc on the board, his health is right back to as it never left. The jump out goes out there, and Bless manages to deny any picks coming out here. Dead, stuck on 2 HP though, so he's gonna be one bullet, one breath, or one little blade of grass away from being taken out here. They're gonna have the knowledge on knowing where the Malusi is. Wolfsburg now taking some damage on his part. Looks like they're looking to play the pinch on Pillar here. They got a guy outside of Hell. The nade's gonna go out. Oh, the nades are gonna come out and cause issues. Stuz gonna manage to take out Wolfsburg using those nades effectively and being able to pinch him down. Mormon's now stuck. Down 2 men in a 5v3 scenario here.
I didn't mind the idea of Scoob jumping out that window. I just don't think he expected 3 players to be out there, but beautiful use of gadgets to just be able to use the information on the cam to then use the nades to dislodge the player of Volsper, who's on a heater right now this map. 9 and 8, one of the top performing players for Mormon. Never a player you want to see go down if you're on the side of Mormon. Going to see how they can translate this 3v5, as now only a minute left for the Unks to actually execute, but they have so much control here over the site, the vertical control being established by the Buck, and the only thing is they don't have any hard reach other than the ace, so they're going to have to be using them on maybe opening up the hatch if that's the control they want. Scary at least still inside dining on some kind of control in and around site, and then you also have Exige also on the red stairs, but there's no way they don't know he's not here, and Solaris is going to be the man to take him out.
Rounds slowly but surely falling out of the hands for Mormon, and as I say that, Bless is going to manage to take out Scary. Cass being able to get 1 on the board here, being able to kind of make his job a little bit easier. He's going to find 2, but with such little HP, highly unlikely for him. He doesn't even know Stuz holding the window. Very great round play from Monks, being able to take the time, open up the position they want. Obviously, Scoob just 1 more bullet away from being able to take out the ace there, making the round so much harder on the side of the Unks, but unfortunately that kill doesn't go out as they had 2 people watching for the jump out there, and obviously they just played it drone pick, and obviously, like you were stating, Wolfsburg cleared out with 2 nades, 1 person on useless window, the other one on Hell holding him out, and Unks playing it perfectly, being able to, you know, let people off, make sure that there's no support, being able to be assisted on the side of Mormon, whereas they were finding ways to assist each other through Mormon. 5-4 on the side of Unks. This is Mormon's map too, so obviously not a favorable position you've been in, but the game's been blow for blow, each team going back and forth here. 2 rounds away from securing map 1 on the side of Unks.
It's a difference between the 2 teams and how their attacking style is played. You saw Mormon very quick, very explosive kind of pace, and you see that Unks is very systematic, very slow, very util focused, and it's working for them. They're able to get the drones and able to use their util to just clear out each and every single player of Mormon, and I want to see how Mormon are going to combat this. Are they going to combat it with more aggression, with more explosive energy, and maybe look for those early on picks? I think that's what they need. We saw it on their first defending round win. They were able to get that opening pick and then translate to a round victory because their early on aggression worked. I think that's been the major problem in the last couple of rounds. The fact that their aggression just hasn't worked. You saw Scoob obviously went for that jump out. That early aggression didn't work out for him, and that's the thing that Unks are adapting to. They know that Mormon want to go for this systematic aggression, so they put multiple players in one place. But as I say this, Crash gets a spawn peek, but Solaris instantly trades at the same time as they both take each other out. So that's a net positive for both teams, really.
Gridlock players are not having it good on this map. Either dying first getting the first pick and quickly trade it. They're always dead on this map, apparently. So, flanking is definitely a very big possibility on the side of Mormon. I personally feel if you're Mormon, you start doubling up and finding ways to be chaotic on your position. Like you were stating, a lot of that systematic aggression being able to be read on the side of Unks. Also, I like the way Unks is making sure they have intel in the position they're taking. They're not droning 2-3 rooms ahead. They're droning the ground that they know they're getting ready to take and making sure either a man's behind it if they can get one behind it, or, you know, they're having those players drone themselves and then take that ground. Obviously, they're not letting themselves overstep their boundaries, not giving any time for Mormon to be able to, you know, push up or be able to shoot a drone and reposition, as they've constantly had a player follow up every time. They've stayed drone, player, and obviously taking the ground that they need fast. I think pretty much every round, and there it is, Unstoppable managing to take out Volsburg, driving Mormon into a further and further into a hole that they're not going to be able to claw back out of if they keep giving up these picks. There's been very little trades on the side of Mormon. They've lost players each time. There's been not really any refrags on the side of Mormon. I think there's only been, what, I'm counting 3 that I can remember, maybe 4 on the side of Mormon that they've been able to pick up refrags or trade players back.
I think the massive util right now for Mormon is going to be the C4 Siege, but Scoob getting into such a disgusting rat position. I don't know if they know that he's left OP. The drone goes past, not actually IDing Scoob in this position. So again, if he's able to kill the Blitz as he drops, and I don't think they know he's here, so he could easily maybe get the pick, but it looks like they're going over the window. But no, the Blitz does go down. A wonderful pick from Scoob. A beautiful way, a beautiful luck, but they instantly retrade him back out. But the C4 goes out from Siege, and now, with only 20 seconds left, they have to figure out a way to get this plant down. Buck is still on this top floor as cover, but he's got so many angles he has to watch from these 2 players of Mormon. And now he's going to get this plant down, but they know exactly where he is. A lot of damage being put out, and he gets taken out. But now, it's all up to the 1v1 Siege. Beautifully played, and he at least wins it out on time. Volsburg was traded out in the melee, but it doesn't matter when the time clicks 0. And I gotta say, that round's on Scoob for me.
Yeah. The way to position yourself in an off angle after being droned, you know, obviously taking a risk there to run across, but Brava sitting on white stairs wasn't able to capitalize or identify that the Warden had moved. Warden being able to sit in a position right on execute, caught the Blitz off guard and put Mormon in a favorable position, denied the possibility to get an immediate plant down, allowed the last 2 players, was it Exige and Scary? I know it was Exige and one other person. They were able to kind of reposition themselves and get in positions to where, you know, they could handle the 2v2 from a distance, and being able to deny the plant even without any nitros. They didn't have smoke or any other ways to deny plant at that end of the round, but they were able to put themselves in positions where they could actively see and keep Unks from just being able to run in and put the bomb down. Obviously, coming down to that 1v1, whoever, I think it was the Legion or the Fenrir, was able to run in and deny the second guy trying to plant. Exige, obviously, in a position where he was so far back that, you know, the last Unstoppable couldn't get to him. Couldn't get the kill, couldn't get the plant down. There was no time left on the board. Unks with attack timeout. I think they're going to take this time. They've been pretty even on the board. 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. So each player making a huge impact through kills, whether it's refrags or positioning through execute. They've done a really good job on the board, but no separation between either one of these teams going 5-5. By the looks of it, Milo, we're going all the way into OT for this first map.
Attackers need to locate.
I mean, yeah, you looked at how the round's been going. It literally has been one team wins one round, the next team wins the next. It literally has been back and forth, back and forth. I know most people, when you see 5-5, they'll say back and forth. This literally has been back and forth. It's always been no team has won 2 rounds in a row yet, and we're seeing here, can Mormon do it? Can they put themselves to match point? Or will the Unks at least get match point on Mormon's map pick? They took the time out. It's an interesting one, because I would say personally, I felt like they've been in the driver's seat. Despite the fact Mormon's been getting these map opening picks, it's really felt like the Unks have had the control most of this game for me.
I don't think there's been a single round where Mormon's been able to take the lead anyway. It's always been like they've kind of, you know, stayed blow for blow, but have kind of had to claw back at a lot of these rounds, whether they've been down in man count, had to make a lucky play, or just managed to survive the execute that, you know, Unks are bringing. They've been able to stay in it. They've been able to brawl, throw blow for blow, and, you know, it's 5-5 right now. Do you think we're going to get an OT game?
The way the game's begun, I think we must have to. I would say, though, the last time Mormon defended this site, it was their most dominant defense. They won it with, like, 3 people still alive. So I'd say how the game's been going, they most likely do win this bomb site. But they haven't been really confident in any other bomb site, especially not the last time they went to the train bomb site. They looked very poor on it. So I'd say, definitely, this has to go OT. I think I'd be surprised if it doesn't, to be honest.
Surprise. Well, I mean, they have Flores on the board. I was going to say maybe the Bravo, but the Jammer's going to cause denial, and the only thing you can really hack anyway would be the Arunis. Zolaris looking to try and destroy whatever utility he can on this first floor, maybe soften up the site's defenses. But, you know, obviously there's a lot of work to do on that top floor. 2 mirrors, 1 in freezer, 1 in bathroom. Now, I mean, Ash is on the board, so there's a good chance that they're going to be able to clear both those mirrors out of positions. But it's still a risk when you're having to, you know, peek and take a fight onto a mirror. They can swing you while you have your gadget out, you know, take any of that ground that they need. Are they going to try and focus through piano or through inner bar? I think we're close to getting our first fight here. Bless and Scary both in positions, ready to swing and aggress each other. Who's going to make the first move, though? Who's going to take the first fight? There it is. First shot's out, but nothing's managed to connect yet. They know that the Aruni's held up in that spot. The Candelas are going to come out. This is the second time we've seen Ying this game. I'm surprised we haven't seen her more. Bless is going to manage to get aggressive here and take that first blow onto Scary. Exige gets a flank off through right side. Takes out Bless and dead. Scoob managing to take a kill on Zolaris. Mormon holding the execute really well on that top floor. Knew that the execute was bound to come out and managed to hold each other in positions and being able to capitalize off the ground that wasn't taken by the side of the Unks.
What I loved right there is basically they basically baited completely Scary. They used him as a, hey, kill this guy, please. Kill this guy as much as you can, and then we'll kill you. We'll completely just sandwich you down, take you out as you're trying to kill him. Exige, 4K on the round. I do not know how he's killed the floors there. I'm not going to question that. But a wonderful play from him. As soon as Scary felt the pressure, got taken out, you saw Exige go for the flank around, take him out, and get a beautiful double kill. Yeah, they completely used Scary as bait, and the Unks fell right for it.
Mormon, for the first time in this series so far, managed to take the lead, putting themselves onto match point. Still, the game's been relatively close. I think it's the first time we've seen a team take 2 rounds back-to-back. They took Kitchen, and then they took their the Reading Dining site there. Like you were stating, put Scary in a position where you know he was probably bound to die, but no pressure. There was nobody covering the back of Ash. I think the second guy just jumped over a skylight and tried to flood through, allowing Exige to walk through piano and capitalize on 2. And before you knew it, it was a 2v4 and no ground. The last 2 guys weren't even inside of the building at that time. So going into this, what could possibly be the last round of the first map, I think we're going to get an OT game the way these teams have been playing. You're going to mining and dining. You struggled a little bit on this site earlier. Pretty sure they lost it. It was close, you know. They actually lost this round to Unks. Unks had 3 people up. Yeah, 3 people on execute and managed to take out Cass, as Cass was stuck in a situation where he was against the world. He did get 2, but couldn't secure the round ultimate.
Yeah, last time obviously Cassie put in an unwinnable situation, but there is some adaptations. Looking like less of maybe that aggressive situation. Obviously, Scoob lost his life to a jump out. No mirror window actually going to be given to Scary this time round. He won't be having the shotgun either, like he did last time. The C4 obviously also won't be wasted. Talking about C4s, there'll be 3 on the board for the side of Mormon Battalion. Volkswagen Siege and Scary all having a C4 each. Dead getting some useful hacks coming down onto that Malusi gadget on White Stairs. That allows them to have a late look maybe up those stairs for any information coming out. And that camera going to give out lots of information when they maybe want to go for their execute. The other thing I can see that's different maybe for the board of the Unks is going to be the Habana. Last time it was the Ace that they needed to use to get that hatch. So that's going to be a little bit of an adaptation coming out for their side.
I was getting ready to say, too, I don't even think they knew that the pulse was down there for the first half of the round, which for the first minute, by the looks of it, they didn't. Finally getting eyes on Volsper, but by the looks of it, I don't think they're going to focus their time trying to put pressure on him. They're just going to continue to focus, softening up this top floor and keep their push on the way they wanted it. The top floor down, they're going to force right through Red Hatch. Buck's already in CS, looking to take aggressive position. Exige was getting aggressive. Quickly fell off to a better position, sitting back. Not allowing any capitalization on the side of the Unks. Cass is going to come up to assist Exige, make sure that he's not stuck up there alone and can get pinched out by himself. My biggest concern for the Unks here is the fact that there's still 3 Nitros, 2 BPs, and a Pulse on the board. Obviously, oh, well, 2 Nitros actually have gone out, and there's Volsper solving the problem. So no Nitros to deny the plant. They're missing a BP, and Scary is going to manage to capitalize one back onto BLITZ here after quickly losing Volsper. Final minute of what could possibly be the end of the first map. They're going to get eyes on the guy inside of reading, start looking to try and get a plant down here. They've managed to deny out all the utility that they need that could deny the plant, but it looks like they're going to skip over the top floor and start focusing their push on the site. I don't think that's going to be a real great idea here, but Unstoppable's in the process of proving me wrong. He's going to go ahead and take out Scoop here. Scary quickly getting the refrag. Kaz getting one onto dead himself. 30 seconds left, and Unks are in, oh, well, a 2v2 position. Exige, by the looks of it, jumped out. The biggest question is, can they clear the Warden from this execute? They're going to knock him down to 20 HP before executing him there on the board. Cass now in a clutch situation here, a 1v2 to be able to take this map and keep it away from OT. No intel on these guys, and Zalaris gonna manage to get the swing. We are going to OT in the first map, in the first game of BLITZ here. A little bit of trash talk coming out too on the side of Stuh.
I think, yeah, maybe, I don't know what Exige did, but maybe a little bit of over-aggression, because he could have just still held that top floor, because the last 2 players were down below. He probably could have just stayed upstairs, maybe gone for a late flank round red, because then as soon as he dies, Scary is completely in a death spot. He can't do anything. He's stuck there. He did so well to get at least 2 picks in and around site to keep his team maybe in a situation to win, but then in the end, it just came down to only him alive. Well, only him alive on site, and then Cassia again in that situation, instead of a 1v5 this time, 1v2, not able to get any picks this time round, still a very hard situation, and now because of that, they go to OT. Mormon actually have the defense on OT, interestingly enough. I don't think it really matters, seeing how it's been a 3-3 split either time, but Mormon, they've been getting into the Ode on defense. In their second split, they're able to win at least 2 defenses, when on their first, they only won 1.
Very even game on the side of the board. Both sides for each team. I honestly think if Exige just holds the vert there, because I think he jumped out. By the way, I was looking through the observer's view when he died. He was outside at that time. I think if he just kept control of the vert there, and obviously used his mirror shotgun to make holes, he could have denied the plant from above. But obviously, that didn't happen. Now we're stuck in OT. Looks like they're going to go kitchen. Mormon Battalion went 1 for 1 on the site. Lost it the first time, and then just won it the second time around. In a pretty decent fashion too, so came down to ultimately a 1v1, but managed to deny the plant and secured the round here. By the looks of it, we're gonna see change here. They're gonna go away from that top floor push, and they're gonna look to try and make it a lot more direct here. Taking Bakery, they're gonna look to start clearing, flashing and clearing out this Echo. Echo's getting naded and stunned. Scary's gonna manage to get one onto Stuh here. Scoob goes down here. Scary in a position, you know, to make sure he doesn't get capitalized on, but I don't think anybody's going to probably be able to res him. Scary's looking to get aggressive here. Unstoppable manages to get one on Cass on the backside here. Mormon's starting to slowly crumble under the pressure of this direct take that Unks is doing here. One Prayer's still down. It's 4v4 technically, but they're not, nope. 3v4, Unks manages to take man count here, finally being able to secure the frag onto Scoob.
It was a beautiful way to clear the player behind that bakery desk, because they not only flashed him, they not only naded him, but they even air jabbed him. So much utility being used to get rid of that player, but it's all worth it. You're not only getting rid of the Echo, so the Echo drones are now going to be used pointless, but there's at least a player off the board, and so much ground now being able to be taken by the Unks. But as I'm saying that, Exige gets the man count back to even for the side of Mormon Battalion, and now Scary looking to get aggressive again. Obviously, he was able to get that opening pick in this round so far, but Unstoppable, it's a question of if they know he's there, and that's an easy pick for BLITZ. Again, the drones being on the favor for the Unks, and I've saying that so many times for them. The attacking drones for Unks have been so strong. They've been able to get them so many picks, so much ground in these attacking rounds so far, and now they're looking to execute on this kitchen bakery side, and there's nothing to really stop them.
The way that intel game is going, that's what I wanted to see from Mormon. Unfortunately, it didn't come out that way, but Unks being able to, like I said, take their time. They're very fast on getting those cut cams set up, getting those early cams in the positions that they want them, and then being able to capitalize on them. Man, whether they're up or down in man count, nothing stops these guys from making the plays they want to do. They take the ground, they apply the pressure to where they need, and they're very good at identifying these solo players and being able to take single fights on them. But as I say that, Wolfsburg's going to manage to capitalize on Bless in the ISO position. Dead, quickly finding a refrag onto Exige here. Wolfsburg now in a 1v2 situation. He's had a relatively decent game for the most part. He's 10 and 10. Plant's gonna start going down here from Dead, unstoppable with the cover.
15
Lack of
seconds
intel.
remaining.
He does have a nice run on the board, so a lot of opportunities here to bring it back. I think he's tracking that Unstoppable's on red. The only issue is, where is this other guy? Unstoppable's gonna slowly fall back and position himself somewhere safe. Wolfsburg's gonna manage to chase, but not get the frag. Unks, although they were down for the first time in this game, they've managed to reclaim the throne and hold this top lead here, taking it 7-6 against Mormon. Mormon's back in a position where they have to fight. They have to claw. Obviously, it's not a defensive round you want to lose there, especially with it being the first round of OT, putting you on overtime match point. But both sides of the board have been close. It's been very even. Attackers have been able to win. Defenders have been able to win the rounds. And I'm honestly thinking Mormon, I think they're going to secure this last round. I think we're going to see max full 15 rounds here. What about you?
Defenders, protect your
I mean, the last time I saw Mormon play this map, it did come down to an 8-7 game, but to be fair, it came down to an 8-7 loss for Mormon, so I could definitely see them still bang it back to overtime as how even this game has been. I'm interested to see that they haven't gone down to the kitchen bomb site, as that's the bomb site I'm pretty sure they saw maybe the most success on. But they will be going to this middle for bomb site, but I think they actually lost on every single bomb site the Unks did. So actually, they don't really have a safe bomb site to go to that Mormon haven't maybe cleared out and found a way to solve. So this generally could go either way, but the pick that you're looking out for the side of the attack is going to be Scoob on that blitz. That kind of tells you this could be a fast take, especially with the Lion as well on the side of Exige.
I think for the most part, as close as this game has been, I think Unks have definitely played in a very great style of Siege. No matter what happens over these next 2 rounds, they've been able to work as a team. They've been able to play together. Obviously, a lot of these rounds are coming down right to execute. So this round, very few rounds has it been very spotty and very quick off the jump. Both teams being able to take their time, get what they need done. The only thing that scares me with Mormon on this attacking round of theirs, like you were talking about, their lack of intel and positions around them. They're very good at being direct and getting the intel where they want to take directly. When it comes to taking around, keeping the intel in the flanks or the positions they can be contested from, very lackluster. My biggest worry is that's going to ultimately be what it comes down to here. If they can provide the direct support that Dead needs here, because by the looks of it, Unks are starting to identify where Mormon Battalion wants to come from. It's a matter of, can Dead get the support he needs, or is he just going to play the position quick and fall off here? Now, obviously, by the looks of it, when I was looking at the setup, they dropped the mirrors back as well, so they're willing to give Mormon the space they need, but still keep it very competitive on the ground that's far away. The Blitz is going to go in with the Lion Call. Legion's going to try and start falling off here. Exige is going to manage to cut him off on that cutback. Mormon getting the first pick here. Although Mormon's had multiple rounds where they've secured first pick, they have not secured the rounds in the same time. So it's a matter of, can they continue to keep this man count and keep this leverage? Unks, I think, definitely changing up the playstyle that they've had throughout the game. They've started to play a lot more back here, giving the ground that they want to Mormon rather than contesting it as they've done so in the game. Leaving the A site completely clear at a distance, not staying far to where they can't do nothing. But at the same time, too, my biggest worry is if they give up too much ground, now you're stuck in a position where you can give Mormon the plant. But as I say that, Zalaris and Bless are going to take out Scary and Wolfsburg here. Bless, I'm assuming, killed one from below, and then Wolfsburg getting one here on the Vraz. That's where he was last playing. Now, like I was telling you at the start of the round, although Mormon has managed to secure first pick multiple times, they're already back in a scenario where they're down in man count. 45 seconds left. Take it from me, Milo.
We're going to see Scoob pushing into bar, but he will not get the pick. At least Cast is able to refrag one, but can they refrag a second? They know where the player is. Exige somewhere in and around Pillar, maybe also being able to clear out one, but not being able to clear the player on Brown says, going all the way down to 18 HP. He doesn't have the diffuser, so at least that wouldn't have been dropped. But he's being encircled right now. Sharks in the water. Cast has at least come down to help his teammate. But Unstoppable and Bless in and around the site. Guess one, gets two. Unstoppable finishes out the round and the game. A double kill. And Mormon's map pick goes to side of the Unks.
8-6. I thought we were gonna see it all the way, but as we come to the end of the game, both teams being able to take 2 rounds each on each other. Mormon taking it into OT for securing match point, and then you get Unks taking control of the overtime rounds, being able to secure the defensive round and the attacking round. Obviously, apart from the score, I don't feel like it was a very strong game on Mormon. I feel like they were very good, like we were talking about. They were very good at getting the intel in the positions that they wanted it, and were able to take that ground. But a lot of these rounds, what's happening is they're clearing where they want and getting that pick, like on Dead. They managed to secure the Legion out earlier in the game. They tried to secure the Cade that was playing in Train. Scary unfortunately fell. They eventually did get it and get the count back into, you know, a 4v4. But then you're dying to people in positions around you, positions where you know you can be contested. And then a lot of these rounds, we're watching a direct take turn into them having to walk around like headless chickens, trying to clear the positions that they were contested from. And by the time you get to those situations where you have to clear where you were contested from, Unks is gone. They're finding new ways to contest you and new ways to fight you. And now you're stuck getting hit from all different directions because you lack that intel.
Yeah, it just seemed like Mormon came in a bit blind to what the Unks were trying to do. Unks came in with great siege, beautiful intel usage to figure out where each player was playing and just instantly take them out. I think Mormon's round wins mainly came down to hero plays, and I want to see less of that in Map 2. But talking about Map 2, we're going to go to a short break before we get you there, but don't go anywhere because it will be back very soon.
Yes, sir.
could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend.
You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation? Man, it's so damn complicated. Where do I start, where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts destroying me some peace of mind. It's all I need to give peace to all of my family. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. But can't get through to me, it's not you, yeah, it's always me. I close my heart to you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep, the weather always makes my nose bleed. Makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life, I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need, you push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me, go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. Cause you think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright. I'll be there, I'll be there. I'll be there when the lights don't shine. I'll be there in the sleepless nights. I'll be there, make you feel alright. I'll be there.
Welcome back, everybody. For those who haven't tuned in, we have Mormon Battalion playing the Unks. Currently getting ready to head into map 2. Unks taking Mormon Battalion's map 8-6 against them. Obviously, we saw some weaknesses and some strengths on the sides of both teams, mostly Mormon Battalion. Just like we were talking about throughout map 1, a lot of Mormon Battalion's weaknesses ended up costing them the game, or at least the map. Came down to just lack of intel on what was going on around them. They were very good at taking the ground that they wanted to directly, but consistently were continuing to have issues when it came to, clearing around the map or having to pick up on flanks or intel in positions that really mattered. Unks able to take advantage of that ground and able to take advantage of that weakness and those opportunities for gaps and being able to find pick after pick, even when down and count. Going into map 2, we're on to Nighthaven here. We are going to have an E-sub on the side of Mormon Battalion. Scoob will be stepping out, and we will be having Mendez filling in for map 2 as a E-sub here. What are we thinking going into map 2, Milo?
My first thoughts, obviously, everyone put wishes out for Scoob right now, going through a really tough time with, obviously, sadly suffering through chemo. So we're going to put wishes out to him first. But going into, obviously, map 2 of Siege, it's going to be even rougher now with the fact that they have 2 subs going. Obviously, at least Scary somewhat plays with the roster a little bit. But having Mendez in as a quick-fire E-sub is not going to help them, especially with the main problems they've been having, being droning, and being just overall intel, and that's to be even harder when your E-sub doesn't know what you like to do in terms of pushes. So we could see them devolve mainly into maybe some rank style setups, as that's what most people are known for doing. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going into the game very quickly here, as I cannot wait to get going, because Nighthaven is such a fun map that you don't get to see a lot often, maybe in this tier 2 to T3 NA Siege currently.
Yeah, and like I said, the biggest focus going into this map, if you're Mormon Battalion, is understanding that continue to take the ground that you want directly. Force the people out and get the kills you want. But focus and understand that you need somebody making sure that you're maintaining your flanks or maintaining intel in positions that you may not directly have on that side of the map. Just because you get the first pick doesn't give you any situation to be comfortable or, to get confident or cocky. You want to focus on making sure that understanding that Unks is gonna look for a fight back. They're willing to get aggressive, they're willing to contest you, and they're willing to continue fighting whether they're up and down. I'm thinking if you can focus on getting another pick after that first one, you're gonna put yourself in a favorable position. On to Nighthaven here. Mormon's going to be starting on defense here. First ban going out, Montang. Just like last map, instead Unks this time Unks had banned the Montang on that last map. This time Mormon's going to do so, being on defense. A little bit of chat going out here. Unks second ban coming out, or Unks first ban coming out, going to be an attacker here. I'm thinking, I was going to say Dokubi. They banned it last map, Mormon banned it the last map, but instead it's going to be Ying. Wasn't really played. She was on the board last map, Milo, but, she was only brought 2 of the 14 rounds that were played.
Yeah, something like that. She was not played quite a lot. Obviously, this is interesting to see that Mormon don't ban out the Dokube. It's an operator they seem to like to ban out quite a lot. Valkyrie also banned out just like she was last map, so none of those black eye cameras going to be used to get intel when maybe roaming around on that basement side to get those free C4s, because a lot of the floor on the map of Nighthaven is destructible, and Azami also not going to be played out. So we're not going to see Monty, Valkyrie, or Azami for the entirety of these first 2 maps. I'm going to say for the whole series, but it could always go to a map 3, even with Mormon on being such a disadvantage, having those 2 subs out. They can still definitely win this out. Obviously, Millsy is now going to be in the game outright, so it's beautiful to see maybe more of the Unks getting back to their full power, seeing how I don't think Millsy was in the first map.
No, I do not think he was either here. So obviously a great position to be in for him. For him and the Unks to be back. Obviously, it's an unfortunate situation on the side of Mormon Battalion, losing one of your players due to, unfortunate circumstances. Obviously, players out to Scoob, hoping for a good recovery and hoping that, he feels better and we can see him more in the league. And although Millie's came in, Millie's is going to quickly exit the game as fast as he came in, and a rehost is going to fall out on the board. So nothing getting started yet. Mormon Battalion's going to go ahead and start with a basement play here. So obviously pretty eager to see how they go about playing with it, whether they're going to play a hard roam, or are they going to play more for sight. How are they going to go ahead and do this? Obviously Nighthaven's a map where, late round, depending on the site, it's a little hard to flank, but those early rounds, you have the second floor, you have the first floor. There's a lot of destruction you can make to move around. And I think Unks on their defensive rounds are going to be able to capitalize on it, being able to continue moving around like they did on Cafe, being able to reposition, making sure that they're getting into positions where they weren't easily able to be cut off or identified without support.
We will be going to a short break, sadly, during this rehost, but don't go anywhere as we will quickly get you back into the action.
See you in a moment.
Took a couple L's this week, it's been hard to get out of bed. She never looked that way at me, I swear she's fucking with my head. Take me far away from pain. Take me far away, far from yesterday. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. Killing my heart, it's the usual. Killing my heart, it's the usual. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. All you do is waste my time. All of your hypocrisy is killing me. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. I'm not looking for a love story anymore. 'Cause honey, Romeo and Juliet were chemical. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. You're killing my heart, it's the usual. There's no signs of stopping now. She stares at me from the ground, locking lips with him, just trying to tear me down. In this evil game, she's proud, living in my head rent free, knowing that she's killing me, she's killing me. All you do is waste my time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All you do is waste my time, yeah. All you do is waste my time, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not looking for a love story anymore. 'Cause honey, Romeo and Juliet were chemical. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. You're killing my heart, it's the usual.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same? I hope you're not planning to waste my time. To my surprise, that was her reply. Now we vibe. It's been a while and such a ride, the stars align. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She loves the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. She my do or die, my bona fide. My up when I'm down, she's always beside me. She makes me feel alive, I won't deny. Her love for me is real and kinda suicide. She's not the same, she's such a rare type. She's far from plain, at least in my eyes. She said if I cross her, I'll be in the grave or under her type, but yeah, that's still my babe. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She loves the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. Getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role.
I've been in and out my mind since I hit your phone. I've been counting up the times that I did you wrong. I just want you by my side when I get real gone. Feel it's been a little while since we got along. Yeah, we've been playing stupid games, the situation rotates. And they say communication, safe relations, okay. Medicated how I'm patient, wasting time ain't the way. Cause I can see it on your face. I've been tossing, turning.
And we are back.
Welcome.
We are back. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but we're back after losing Millie's as fast as he came to fill in for map 2 for his team. He was out the lobby, so had to get a little bit of a quick rehost there. We're going right back down to the basement like we were talking about before. Mendez filling in for Scoob here. By the looks of it, Legion and the Vigil on the board. This is going to be I think it's going to be a pretty decent first floor roam game. I think they're going to look to try and shoot cams, you know, find some pressure and fall off here relatively quick. Pop the garage hatch, open it up, get apply pressure early round. I think if you're a Mormon Battalion here, instead of doing a lot of the solo plays that you were doing, or like the solo aggressive fights where it's constantly at 50-50, and then when you're stuck against unks who are putting manpower in places to cut you off, or to, you know, get a secondary guy to quickly refrag you. I think here, the focus is, you know, obviously either falling off, shooting those cams, and then playing out for an execute where Mormon's been really confident on. If they can stay up to execute most of the time, they usually manage to come out on top on most of those rounds. But if you're giving up those early fights and you're losing people, it's going to put you in a little bit of an unfavorable position here.
I mean, a positive for Mormon going onto this map is the fact they're going to be on the defender side first. Obviously, unlike Cafe, I would say Skyscraper, Nighthaven, very defender-sided. I'd say more favors to a 60-40 in terms of how many rounds defenders should take. I think you normally want to get away with a 4-2 split. We're going to see the external walls already being opened up, though, by Stir. A lot of ground being covered from Unks, but the open pick will be going into the favor of Mormon. Scary, taking down Millsy, as you said. As soon as they join into the lobby, they've already exited it, and they're going to exit their life. They're going to see it be futile as Scary takes down the Buck early on. That's vertical control already gone 1/6 the way to last map, but that's some trash talk going out very early on from Millsy, realizing how many kills of Scary got on that last map.
A little bit of trash talk coming out on both sides, although the game just started, so we have a long way to go before we really see who can close out this series. Obviously, Unks up a map, Mormon having to fight back in a position of being down. I do really like the way they were able to get site open fast. Obviously, unfortunate death on the side of Millie's. This map allows a lot more leeway to be solo aggressive or to take fights in off angles, off positions, however they, the defenders or Mormon Battalion, for example, want to take it. They're staying relatively close to each other. Exige, Vigil, the Vigil Volsper, and then Scary. They're not far from each other, and they're moving in positions where, you know, they can stay near each other and not giving up anything too early. Obviously, Volsper was looking for a spawn peek, the most aggressive play apart from Scary getting the pick. Cass gonna manage to find one here, taking out Zalaris. That's gonna be your Osa down. It's gonna be one of your execute ops if you're trying to sit and hold a flank. And Mormon already starting map 2 off strong.
I don't know if you're like me, but my other co-caster likes Osa, and I think Osa is one of the worst operators currently in the game of Rainbow Six Siege. I think she's just way too easily countable, but as I'm saying this, Exige going for this flank, just about missing the player as they drop the hatch. Surprised he's able to get this much ground, despite the fact that Dokkaebi Call is going off, but he at least gets one before he's refragged. Well, Volsper was actually refragged, and Exige, no, he's also refragged out too. He is down. Unstoppable getting a 2k on the round, getting his team back in terms of maybe an advantage to win this round out. Cassia, though, still has so much ground behind that mirror window and a C4 in pocket. It's mainly up to Unstoppable to maybe dislodge his players so Stir can get his way into a plant. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Scary was on the XGS team that the Unks were played under, right?
Yes, they were. So this is kind of like, he knows a little bit about Zolaris, how Zolaris or Sta, they like to call and take control of this game. And there you go, Cass is going to manage to take out Sta here, leaving Unstoppable, one of the newest players on Unks, in a 1v3 situation. He's going to see the ward and not be able to hit nothing, getting shot at from different directions. Mendez, the player coming in as a quick sub, or as an emergency sub for these next two maps, he's going to manage to secure the round. Strong fashion on the side of Mormon Battalion. I like the way that, like a little bit we were talking about, they were able to get aggressive, they were able to find those first picks, and continue moving around without giving up their lives in ways that it wasn't needed. They're going to go ahead and start moving on to the next site, going upstairs here to Brow, to slow up the wall here. K is going to be brought in as denial to the mirror to kind of hold those angles. Warden, always a powerhouse op, and then the Fenrir, any gaps, any positions that, you know, the Unks try and enter through are going to get, you know, they're going to get covered up by the Fenrirs. The Dreadnoughts are going to, you know, conceal their vision and their hearing, and it's going to make it a lot harder for the Unks if they're not able to identify the positions of those Fenrirs or the Miras. Now, going out here, obviously Mormon had a good first round. It's just the start of the game, so anything can happen. Like I said, last map, we saw blow for blow all the way up until OT. Mormon took 2 rounds to take match point. Unks came back and sealed the game, so anything is very much possible here.
I'd be surprised if it went blow for blow, just because the favour of how Nighthaven is normally played out, just how defender side it's going to be. But Mendes doing strong, being as a sub, able to get that final pick. Gonna see how the Unks will respond though. We will see the Blitz coming out. A shield play, obviously shields being the current meta in the current play of Siege, did not bode well for them many rounds throughout. I think they won at least 1 round though with the Blitz and lost the other 2 they played. Gonna see if maybe on Nighthaven it's a lot more strength for them. Normally you'll see the Blitz go up and maybe take the rafters control, or maybe go down blue. There's the 2 main points of contact that you'd like to throw your shield down. Curious to see maybe where they're going to go for, but Jackal already getting so much control in this kitchen area and figuring out where the Warden is, but he's all the way back in and around sight, just because you don't normally really see a massive roam coming out when they play a top floor advantage on any defense.
They're going to skip out on the fact of, you know, having to bring, you know, a Thermite dealing with the Kate and the 2 Brow on the board. Mav's going to go ahead and start playing to trick the wall. Nitro gets ripped out by Volsper, so this could be very threatening for the side of Unks. If that Nitro gets through, it's going to go out. It is going to connect with Unstoppable, not really doing anything for him. The mirror is going to get popped now too, making Mav's job so much harder than what it needs to be. Giving more pressure to the Mav, making the wall harder to, you know, harder to open for these guys. Volsper going to quickly fall out, taking a little bit of damage, but getting able to get back. They're going to continue to probably slowly contest this wall here just to make, you know, the Mav's job a lot harder. And there's the 2 Barrel there to slow him up and slow his ability to open the wall up. Mav stuck just drawing art on the wall. He's drawing graffiti at this point. I did like the way Gage was able to get in early. He was able to find early ground. A little bit of a slow round on the side of the Unks. They're just now slowly getting that Blitz into the building. They're kind of, you know, taking their time to open up some pressure. Millie's Cade by the looks of it. Xege's gonna drop down and manage to find Millie's. That's gonna be the Ash below. By the looks of it, I'm assuming they're planning to kind of open up the mirrors or open up pressure spots from below. Exige is just going to continue to waste time falling for the basement. And the Unks, with a minute left, don't really have any ground to contest, any ground to take, or, you know, a path to get, I would say even a path to, you know, get a plant or win this round.
I mean, it's beautiful play from Exige to get that pick, and not only that, but keep away with his life. He's able to run away and stay alive. The thing is, though, he's now completely in and off sight and away from this execute. He can maybe get a C4 down from below, because he has actually used that as well. But they've gone so much ground now, but with only 40 seconds left, they have to figure out a way to maybe start getting this execute down. Scary, going to be their first point in contact, need to figure out how to take this man out. But the thing is, they're going to have to mav breach this wall open, as there's no other bit of hard breach they're going to be able to use. And Volsper is right close on that corner. And he gets the Maverick, and it's a beautiful pick. And he doesn't get the second, though. At least a double from Zolas and Star to at least make the man count a little bit even. C4 goes out, doesn't land, but Cassia takes down Zolaris and Exceed from below. He was able to survive the early onslaught and able to then get the final pick.
Definitely gonna be probably a defensive masterclass from both of these teams here going into map 2. I love the way that, you know, Mormons changed up their playstyle. They're not playing much of that systematic siege anymore, or at least right now, where, you know, they're kind of just sitting back, you know, applying baseline pressure in positions that are 50-50. They're catching people off guard. They're not afraid to drop hatch. Exige getting down there and taking out the Ash, whoever that, I think it was Zolaris that time? It was either Zolaris, like, I think Millies, actually, it might have been. But, you know, being able to take that aggressive ground and still getting out with his life. He's even questioning it himself. So, going into a position, Mormon's now up 2 rounds. This is the first time in the opening of a game so far in this series that we've seen a team be able to kind of stretch out a little bit of leeway for themselves. Gonna go ahead and move on to the first floor site here.
Obviously, you never really see Kitchen as the tertiary bomb site. It normally is going to be that storage bomb site. It's a lot easier to hold. You get so much control with the vertical, whereas with the Kitchen bomb site, it's a teeny little room that you can really hold for vertical, and then a staircase. It's basically impossible to hold vertical control, and as soon as you lose vertical on Kitchen, it's basically you're in a death trap at that point. That's where you'll normally see this go out, and Exige gets a spawn peek onto Millsy. Again, 0-3 right now, not really the hero you'd like to see. Normally you see a player come back in towards a team like, I'm going to be the hero now, I'm going to be that player to step up big. Hasn't been it for them, and now we're going to see them on the Damus as well. That's your roam clear operator. It's going to be hard to now maybe dislodge these players on this top floor.
Amazing play by Exige. I think he's had the first pick 3 rounds now. Actually, no, Scary had to pick the first round, but Exige taking first pick for his team the next 2 rounds. Mormon Battalion 3-0 right now in the entry game compared to the Unks. Exige, he was the second to top performer on his team last game, although it was a loss. But as of right now, he's doing a wonderful job opening and leading the way for his team. Currently 4-1, Cass following behind with a 3-0, and the rest of the team just managing to do their jobs and staying up and staying alive without getting in positions where they can't be traded, or getting in positions where they're just getting killed without any, you know, repercussions on the side of Unks. But right now, it feels like the board's flipped. Unks, as they played such a strong first map, being able to find that ground, being able to find that entry, or being able to find those refrags right now, they're not even managing to get into the building and are losing people before an attack can get pressured right now. I think the only wall that's open is that garage wall, and yeah, but right now nobody's inside of the building. Deimos and Grim, your 2 operators that you want to clear and force people out of positions, you've lost one of them, so now you're going to have to adapt and change your plan. Exige is going to go ahead and start getting aggressive. Volsper's going to take out Sta here. Zolaris below with the IQ, trying to see if he can clear out the Warden's glasses. Exige managing to bob and weave his way out of harm's way here. Going into the last minute on the side of Unks, with down 2 people, down your hard breach, and you're down. Oh, Thermite's got his charge on the wall. He couldn't even get it open because the tuber out managing to delay it for so long. 58 seconds. Mormon Battalion doesn't have to do nothing here other than just sit and wait. Zolaris gonna manage to find one for his team. Blow for blow coming out between Engage and Volsper here. Nitro's gonna get ripped, but he's gonna quickly fall back into position. 43 seconds on the board. Coming down to this end of the round, I don't think they know where Zolaris is at. The gap is currently on that cargo side. I don't think they have any intel, so this could be massive for them, but he shoots and gives away his position. Scary manages to kill Unstoppable. Exige getting Zolaris and Volsper. This Mormon Battalion roster, I think map 1 was just a warm-up for them at this point, because they're in full thrive right now, and they are not letting up the gas.
I say the difference between map 1 and map 2 is the fact that when Mormon get a map, or get the opening pick this time round, they're able to then spiral on and keep going forward. Whereas in the last map, they maybe got too over-aggression. They maybe just gave too many free picks up, letting Unks get back into the round, giving them a route to maybe win the attacking rounds out. But here, you see Mormon just using that opening pick as momentum, they then continue going forward, maybe play a little bit less aggression, maybe play more a little bit passive in those next couple rounds and play more together. You're seeing more trades, you're seeing more teamwork come out from Mormon. It's very strong for their side, and they're becoming more dominant as this game goes out. And I'm very happy to see that Mendez as well coming in as a sub 2-0. It's not a massive like, oh my god, he's doing so well, but he's doing well at least. Sometimes at a sub, you may come out and just play a poor game, but Mendez out here, he's doing what you expect. He's doing it well. He's playing good Siege, and he's not letting the team down, and that's what you want from a sub.
I mean, he's not even, I wouldn't even say he's not really playing like an entry, I meant to say, or an aggressive position or an aggressive role. He's sitting back, setting up the util, and playing behind it. Obviously, he's gotten the 2 kills that he's needed. This tuber out is being fatal right now, and... Oh, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing. No tuber outs bought on the board here. Obviously, they're going to go back into the basement after playing a perfect, flawless 3-0 rotation here. Vigil's got many different options to rotate through, and the Boss G's back out on the board. As long as Wolfsburg can make contact, he's got opportunity. Scary looking to get aggressive here. This team being very confident, being very aggressive, and not letting nothing stop them. This Jammer's continuing to slow up Mormon or the Unks attack here. They're still struggling to get it on the wall, and Stud's having not a good time right now. Come on, Stud, you got it. There he goes. Stud manages to get it. Zalarius gets a track onto Exige right now. Exige's just chilling out on the Jammer, and... Oh, I thought the wall got electrocuted for some reason, but they're going to finally manage to get the wall open. A lot more success on the side of Unks this time around. Last time, I think they got the wall open really late, but it was messy with the way the Mav was played. Millie's going ahead and sneaking in below. I don't think Legion realizes that Millie's is coming in behind. This could be bad for him. Oh, he might hear him last second. He's going to see him, but Millie's hitting the shots that he needs, getting the first pick for the first time this map for the side of the Unks. Exige still in a good position and quickly manages to get a refrag onto Ace, gets lit up, and he's being actively chased right now, but manages to fall back into a position. Now, obviously, he's going to be getting tracked here. He's going to try and look for a pick back, but no, while the track goes down, Exige manages to fall, and by the sounds of it, Jackal's going to give chase.
He is giving chase, but the C4 going to go out, not going to be blown up or land. Eventually is blown up, not going to land though, but a beautiful shot by Zalaris to take down Volsberg. Maybe a little bit of over-aggression come out from Volsberg. He definitely could have just played that 4v4 on site. Mendes up those stairs as well to help him out, maybe give him a little bit of support. C4 going to go out. Will it land though? There's a player right above him. But I don't think it will. No, he's looking for the aggressive swing instead. Millsy actually goes down. I don't know where from. Exige is actually going to take him down. A lot of aggression coming out from Exige, and it's working for him. He's able to get these picks every which way, and he's looking for another here. Do they know? Oh! They don't. Despite him getting a pick from there earlier, and he's still got the shotgun coming out close, but no unstoppable free-fires him. And now it's down to this 2v2 though. Beautiful from Exige. They were down in that disadvantage. He then gets 2 kills, eventually replied, but now it's all up to the Unks if they can reply. Cassia in such an advantageous position. But look at this. Unstoppable pushing up close to this mid window. Not able to find it and gets blinded out. And because of that, Cassia is able to get the pick, and Mendez follows it up with another round-ending kill.
Absolutely chaotic round on this for both sides of the board. Unks finally find their Scary talking a lot of trash right now, but Unks finally managing to find their first entry pick of the game. Exige was quickly able to capitalize and get out alive. Obviously, the Jackal could have had the position to take him out, but failed to do so as he was doing the track instead. Now, like you were saying, Wolfsburg did get a little too aggressive. I think maybe Wolfsburg just didn't communicate or didn't let Exige know that he was doing that. I think if you put both of them together to double up, he gets the frag. But obviously, Mormon Battalion managed to fall off and continue applying pressure to where it was needed, and it held that end of the round absolutely flawlessly. Right now, Unks are struggling. They're doing a little bit better at getting inside of the map. They're doing a little bit better getting that pressure on that early rounds in the positions they want. Still very sloppy, but it's definitely compared to like the first 2-3 rounds where they were just struggling to get inside the building. A lot more control on them. Just the issue is Exige is just having a heyday right now, running around, taking these man counts back, not afraid to make these aggressive plays. He had a triple kill last round, and he's just keeping Mormon Battalion in the lead, or just getting the job done to the point where all his team has to do is just play their positions and win their fights and secure out these rounds. 4-0 from Mormon Battalion. Absolutely flawless performance right now from them.
Obviously, last time attacking this side, the Unks had so much trouble getting that main breach because of that tuber out and the Mav, just like you said, making graffiti on the main door. And again, it was down to Exige playing that downstairs lurk role so efficiently, able to get that opening pick and then not be really traded out. The tuber canister goes out and then it's shot off. The thermite charge placed too low, then allowed the mirror window to just be able to just shoot it off. But now, look at this, a lurk maybe coming out from Millsy through this garage door. I was going to say, it now puts the position of Volspit in such a precarious position. C4 maybe going to go out, but no, instead it's going to be the tuber canister. Still waiting for Millsy to maybe go for this aggressive position. As soon as this door is open, he's walking into that garage.
Absolutely. This wall, they've just had a troublesome time trying to get it open. Even when it was just a mute on the board, they were still struggling to get the wall open. And right now, they're going to make a 3-2-1 fast play here. He's going to manage to shoot at the mirror, and the mirror is going to get down because he was a little bit overextended. They're going to quickly manage to take over Rafters here. Zolaris is going to manage to pick up a kill of his own. For the first time in this game, by the looks of it, Onks are in a position where they have a little bit more control. Blitz is going to start the process of getting aggressive here. Unstoppable is going to find one onto Exige. The mirror is still currently down, getting actively picked up, but has low HP. You're stuck in a 3v4 situation with one guy near death. Now, the biggest worry is obviously you have the two guys pushing Garage and Raptor side, and Scary getting a little bit over aggressive there, loses his life. Situation for Mormon Battalion looking a little bit more unfavorable, looking a little bit rougher for them. Round's not over yet, as there's still a minute left. A lot of the time for the side of the Unks to be able to, you know, figure out how they want to execute, put the pressure where it needs to be. Gunfights are going to go out between Cass and the Mav, but Zolaris is going to manage to get a pick of his own. Warden's stuck in a 1v4 situation, a lot to lose on the board. He's going to manage to get one, tried to turn around, almost had Unstoppable, but Unstoppable managing to secure the kill. Unks managed to secure their first round of the map.
They changed up that round. You saw in the first couple of attacking rounds, they tried to go more slow, more figure out where the roamers were, and then slowly start their execute. They went fast that round, and it completely caught Mormon off guard, because they just weren't used to that. We weren't used to the Unks playing that kind of tempo, and that's sometimes what you have to do. You have to change your tempo off to catch your opponents off guard. Poor play from Mendez, maybe just overexposing yourself a little bit on the mirror, especially when you're on the cams there. But of course, it just be not knowing how far your character model goes. But I'd say, overall, that's just really well played from the Unks, as it just completely caught Mormon Battalion off guard. They're going to re-attempt the top floor bomb site here, and it's looking like a similar hold. You see the exact same operators, other than Exige going to be on the Bandit. I'm going to see how that changes how they like to go. He's also hiding the operator, so they may not know that he's going to be going for a bandit trick on that main breach, as they've never gone below trying to discourage anyone for going for that main breach. I'm curious to see if that mirror window will also still be put on that main breach, as at the moment it hasn't been placed there yet. But Mendez looking like he is going to be going over to place it now.
I am a little bit interested because Matt, or Engage, as most people know him, swapped over from the Zofia to the Glass, and then Thatcher to Maverick to Thatcher. So obviously not looking to do like a Mav where they draw a hole in the wall and then smoke it. They're obviously, I think by the looks of it, by the way they're setting this up, is going to be a cargo aqua side take here. Probably try and flip to this backside hard. Hit these guys fast and off guard again before anything can happen. Obviously, Unks have kind of changed up their focus to whereas they're just trying to aimlessly walk in or, you know, take a position by themselves. They're moving to more of a faster pace. Get in there quick, hit them before they can position, and look to hopefully capitalize on picks. Now, obviously, like you said, the Bandit was hiding, so I don't think they fully know that Bandit's going to be holding this IT wall. Ace ready to get this wall open. I think they're going to use it as a distraction. Glaz and Thatcher both sitting on the roof right now just waiting. And Finka's going to go right back up to that door like she did last time. Scary might, taking over the rafters, might be in a little bit of a rough position if, you know, if Finka decides to fire through that door. They're taking their time. And here it goes. We're getting ready to see an execute here. The Bandit's going to go out and trick the wall, but are they going to take rafters quick? No. He's going to manage to deny the wall. Finka's still waiting. Gunfire's coming out. Stuh is going to start taking some damage. Nobody on the side of Mormon Battalion. Volsper taking out Zolaris inside the Ace. Glaz is going to manage to get the refrag onto Scary here through the smoke. Unstoppable stuck in the Fenrir. And Exige going to manage to find one onto Millies and Unstoppable. The entire Raptor side is fallen. It's just down to the Blitz and the Glaz in a position. I don't even think they realized the BP was there. They can see all the intel. Now your push is kind of chalk. You're in a 4v2 position. The rafter side's completely fallen. They know that both of you are over there. They have one guy by the looks of it sitting on the rafters just holding for the jump, and while the rest keep eyes on that aqua side here. Failed push by the side of the Unks. Tried to be fast. Lack of intel on that bandit definitely caused a lot of issues, and them not knowing. Thread the needle shot coming out from Engage here. Stuz trying to see if he can find any way to make entry here, but he's going to get down, and he's going to quickly be dispatched of. Glaz in a 1v4 situation. The team, more Battalion's going to start getting aggressive and making swing plays here. Going to manage to find one on the cast. Excuse me there. He's going to manage to get one pick. Still in an unfavorable position. The whole side of Mormon Battalion just sitting back and playing it passive right now. Obviously, he could capitalize. I was going to say he could capitalize on the guys trying to get over aggressive. But with two players peeking you at the same time, I don't think you're going to be fast enough to manage to one-tap both those players. Mormon Battalion with a absolutely dominant half. 5-1.
I said that changing the tempo up sometimes takes your opponents off guard, but then doing the exact same thing a round later really doesn't work. But it's great adaptation though. You see Exige able to bandit trick that main bridge, and as soon as that's done, there's so much advantage he has in that situation, because there's only one really place they can really push him out of that position, and that's going to be Rafters. And it's able to get a double kill, not only because of the Fenrir mine going off on the Thatcher, but then he easily swings the second player, because obviously Pika's advantage and just having a superior stun skill. He's able to take out the player, and then the only side they have left is going to be the blue control, or the war control as you'd like to call it. And there's not much they can do from that, especially with the fact there was still 3 C4s left on the board of Mormon. They could easily just throw out, take out the Blitz, who was basically on 1 HP in the end. He was something like 50. And then the push just fell apart, because it was just so one-sided after the whole Rafter side fell apart.
Absolutely, Milo. Just a great way to be able to hide that bandit in that Fenrir position on that Thatcher, allowing Exige, to be able to take an advantageous fight onto that Thatcher, killing him. Unstoppable, having no clue what was going on. And then obviously the 50-50 between Exige and the Finka going in the way of Exige, managing to shut down that entire Raptor side take, and being able, to keep his team up and managing to, secure that final round from them. The fast play by no means stop that team whatsoever. Obviously, I think you take the time to get the wall open before you hit hard, but when you're in a situation when you're trying to do fast play like that, you kind of just have to commit, go, and go. The side half's going to be swapped here. By the looks of it, Unks aren't playing too aggressive. They're kind of playing near stairs, just putting a little bit of pressure and falling off, allowing Mormon Battalion to, play the ground they want. But there's 4 nitros on the board and there's a pulse. They don't have an IQ or anything to be able to identify that pulse. So if they haven't already droned him, this could get very scary for the side of Mormon Battalion too, because there's not really any vertical breach. So by the looks of it, they're just going to move fast and hopefully probably skip out Vert. Jackal's going to look to get aggressive here. He's not going to manage to capitalize on anything. Zalaris not falling off. The track's going to go down. Zalaris is going to fall. And with 1:45 left coming up on the clock, first Nitro goes out on the board. And Cass taking the fight through Vert and taking out Engage. Mormon Battalion, for I want to say the 6th time this game, has found the entry pick. First hatch is going to manage to go after the Tuberal quickly falls off, depending on how long he tends to delay that. Exo wall, or that's not exo wall. The site wall is not going to go fully open, but that doesn't really matter. If you're positioning a guy out there just to cover it, all he's got to do is be able to see. And Exige managing to get one on the wall by the looks of it, and Volsper getting one. Exige picks up a second here. 5v1 situation. I was going to say first flawless on the horizon, but Stoppel's going to manage to take out one, dropping Scary here. Plant's going to look to go down on Mendez. Exige having a life game, lights up Unstoppable. Cass going for the finish here. 6-1. Mormon Battalion in full control of this game. Unks with no grabs, no way to lead, no way to get something going in their favor. And even when they do, it doesn't matter, because Mormon Battalion's all over. They're getting the picks back. They're working direct, but they're playing a lot more what we talked about, making sure that nobody can recontest the positions that they were getting contested from on Cafe. They're holding these flanks, they're contesting them up front, making sure that nobody's around trying to hide or sit around in positions that could catch them off guard, and they've proceeded to shut down Unks in every way. From this map or from Cafe to this map, completely night and day.
It is right now. Yeah, it was a beautiful fast take though coming out from Mormon Battalion. As you saw, they instantly took all the site control they needed to then execute onto site itself. Beautiful way to play it. They mainly wanted to go down that exit side, able to get the breach open as just a cut off. And like you said, I'm pretty sure they actually have 5 opening picks so far, because I know they at least won one where they didn't get the opening pick, and I think they lost the other one where they didn't get the opening pick. But either way, that's the same as what they had last map, but this time it's just the difference of them being able to just completely translate that into round victories. They're able to spiral on this time round from those opening picks and keep it going throughout the round and use their advantages to then take gunfights where they're in the advantage, where they have, say, a 2v1 gunfight or 3v1 gunfight. We saw it multiple times that round. And not only that, like you said, Exceed popping off this game just like he did last game, 12-3 this time round. And Scary, he's going for a glass play here, just like the Unks did on this site last time round.
But the only issue that's going to be here is, yes, you have Ace and Thermite, but there's a Banjo on the board. And exactly as the issue is going to create itself, Bandit's going to be able to deny the wall, preventing the glass from being able to get that line of sight that he wanted to. Obviously now, if you're trying to still get that wall, you're going to have to contest up front. He's 1-6, but he's in a position where he's by himself, but can easily be cut off if he's not paying attention to meeting. Exige is going to look to probably try and get aggressive here. It's going to be a 50-50 fight, but instead Bandit just falls back. Not going to risk his life, not going to let himself get killed early. He's going to manage to keep himself on the board, keep this 5v5. Yes, you give the ground to Mormon Battalion after stalling a pretty decent round. Cass eating that nitro, so down to 11 HP on the board here.
Ace it up, but able to stay alive afterwards, and now we're going to see how they can translate this. The Nitro Cell already down off the board, so honestly, that's a little bit of a loss from the Unks. They threw it out, not able to get the kill. Yes, Cassie is on all the way down to 11 HP, but they can still do so much damage with that gun in hand. We're going to see them get all this control up until this connector side way. We're going to see how they need to get this main connector wall open, but with the Bandit on side, it's going to be hard to just stop him from Bandit tricking that wall open. And we're going to see it happen right here. Here you go. Here's the Bandit going down. And Millsy gets the open pick onto Volts, but that's your secondary hard breach down. And with another ace charge, actually all ace charges going down, they're basically not going to be able to get this wall open. They're going to have to flood somewhere, and it's going to be very hard for them to take these gunfights either through a doorway or just go, basically, yeah, just only through doorways now.
3 nitros and 2 smoke canisters left on the board. You're already down a man in a position where it's going to get rough, and it's about to get a whole lot tougher as Alaris manages to take out Cass. Not managing to open any of these walls. Cass is going to go to pick up a second one here on Mendez. The Raptors guy is going to push up here. Exige looking to try and take this fight, bring something back. Scary's going to manage to get the kill, though. And Unstoppable manages to win his one against Exige. Obviously down to 5 HP, but that doesn't matter when you have Amira and 3 other teammates with full HP ready to contest. Scary's going to manage to get one as Millsy gets aggressive here. Still stuck between a rock and a hard place, as this Mira is going to continue to be the leverage. Scary kind of trying to moonwalk his way, and hopefully somebody can make a mistake. He's going to sprint in here, but manage to succeed with nothing, as the way that Unks play this. They managed to hold it down and secure the round for them. 6-2 lead. They are still fighting. There's still a chance for the Unks to bring this back.
Yeah, they proved the game is not over yet. The Mormon cannot take them lightly. Still, the Unks still in the realm of possibility to come back throughout this game. They will progress going back to that basement bomb site, the one that Mormon won so dominantly on. But expect Mormon to maybe try a different take this time around. They can't do the same aggression coming out. Did you guys have enough wall denial? You know what? They definitely did, because honestly it worked out for them. Beautiful bandit tricks and beautiful K tricks coming out from the side of the Unks to make sure no external wall came into the favor of Mormon Battalion. Even though they had those 2 hard reaches, it really didn't matter in the end. It just allowed Mormon, or allowed the Unks to just stay pretty in their side, their castle of just fortress basically in the end. And now we're going to see if they can make the basement of Fortress for themselves. The Maverick's going to come out, as they knew how much they loved the Wardenal the last time out. We're also going to see Scary again on that Thermite. So it's going to be double hard breaches again coming out from Woman. Just to see if they're going to go for more a slow and methodical take rather than that quick, aggressive push down Exo says.
Yeah, I mean, last time they focused completely the Exo side, which by the looks of it, I'm just going to start to put a little bit more pressure on that side. Obviously, by the looks of it, they're playing a 4-man roam game here with the Cade stuck on site, playing to trick this wall. I think obviously with the last round, if you focus on like if you know that you have a Thatcher or I mean you have a Bandit and a Cade, that Thatcher would have probably been the ideal push. Maybe they were missing something. Thermite's gonna manage to get the single wall by the looks of it already. He's gonna or no he didn't. I think he got the upstairs wall. What wall did he get? But Mav's gonna go ahead and open this single animus wall here for his team. Look to try to open up some pressure. The EMP's gonna go out. Cade's not in a position to. That K Claw's not going to get it in time. Wall's going to manage to fall. By the looks of it, it's going to be a little bit more of like a vert direct style take. First smoke's going to come out. The Pulse and the Cade falling back to site, obviously looking to deny this push. 2 nitros on the board and Pulse with the cardiac sensor to be able to identify. First nitro is going to fall out on the board with no connection. Mormon Battalion starting to identify that, you know, excuse me, that Unks starting to identify that Mormon Battalion is focusing on something a lot more direct, and although you still have the Legion and the Vigil upstairs, it concerns me with the fact that Zalaris is going to manage to take out Scary here on the Therm. Scary trying to make a walk-in play here. Volsper's going to manage to find one back. Exige is going to manage to take one himself, pushing down Cargo quick here with 2 goos in their foot. Unstoppable's going to get Exige. Matt trying to make a flank here, but Cass in a position to cover the flank. Picks going out quickly, but right now it's currently in favor of Mormon Battalion. 1 nitro left on the board here at the Pulse. The call's going to go out. They're going to look to have to try and make a plant here. The Doke will be the only one in position to be able to grab that defuse and go down with it. Pulse sitting far back, and he's going to get contested by the looks of it, either from Ver or from Cargo here. Cade's also starting to push up to get aggressive. Mendez is going to manage to take out Unstoppable. The E-Sub doing a magnificent job as he picks up the 2nd kill to secure the map for Mormon Battalion in dominant fashion. Both teams taking each other's maps off the board from one another. We are going all the way. Map 3.
Mormon's was a little bit more dominant though, and you love to see the E-Sub, especially in the final round, bringing it up bigs, able to get the double kill in the end to win that game out. And we're going to see how they favor on the decider, obviously being Consular, and that is a map we have seen throughout Blitz so far this series. The Mormon have been able to win very well. I'm going to see if they can do it again. But the Unks, they're not left to die. They can definitely come back. I want to see Millsy maybe put a little bit more numbers up, especially coming back into his team. You don't want to see him die out with a whimper.
Absolutely. It's just terrible performance on the side of Millies and Unks, obviously. A little bit all over the place with that map, you know. Mormon Battalion managing to control the fights and isolating each player into ones. Even on site, they were able to find ways to isolate those site players one by one, getting up into the execute and being able to take control of those rounds on each grass, not overextending, not making any fast plays. Now, Consulate's next. But before we get to that, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, allow both teams to recoup and prepare for map 3. We'll see you here in a few minutes.
Took a couple L's this week, it's been hard to get out of bed. She never looked that way at me, I swear she's fucking with my head. Take me far away from pain. Take me far away, far from yesterday. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. Killing my heart, it's the usual. Killing my heart, it's the usual. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. All you do is waste not looking for a love story anymore. 'Cause honey, Romeo and Juliet were chemical. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. You killed my heart, it's a usual.
Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, driven in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome back to Blitz. We're back with the final map of Mormon versus the Unks. Let's go a quick recap going through. Obviously, Mormon Battalion losing their map pick to the Unks 8-6 all the way going to overtime on Cafe. And then you also had Unks map pick going the way of Mormon Battalion. A lot more dominant though. 7-2 in the end on Nighthaven Labs. Very unexpected in the end. What do you think went wrong for the Unks on Nighthaven Labs, Retro?
I think it felt like a whole different style of play going into Nighthaven. Like, compared to, like, Cafe, where they were just getting aggressive, they were not afraid to force plays and, you know, get up into the face of Mormon Battalion. It felt like this map, I feel like those early attacking half on their part really set the tempo and made them want to halt and hold the brakes. You go into those defensive rounds and you're like, okay, you know, Unks are probably going to play a little bit more back because they're down and they need those rounds. But it was like they just gave just about everything to Mormon Battalion. They were relying way too heavily on that utility and hoping it could bail them out of rounds. And a lot of those rounds, they brought nitros, they brought smokes and stuff like that, and it provided some assistance. But a lot of those nitros didn't connect, or if they did, they never really got the kills that, you know, Unks were hoping for. I think going into this next map, it's really a matter of like, get that confidence back. Don't be afraid to get up there. Don't be afraid to assist one another. Double up and look to take these fights. You had Exige running around on you guys all last game on both sides of the boards, setting the tempo for his team and setting the tempo for you guys. You were letting a player on the other team tell you how to play the game indirectly, and it really showed on the side of Unks. So when you're going into Consulate, I think you just need to be confident. It's 5 players that can shoot, obviously on both sides of the board, but Unks have talent. They're not afraid to do what they need to do. They're not afraid to get dirty. It's just a matter of, you know, being able to get in there and hold the confidence that you need and hold the tempo of the rounds. You need to take control and get the leashes back on the game before you blow the first map lead you had.
Exactly. So obviously going to Consulate is a similar map to Night Haven Lamps, both very defender-sided. So you could say that going into it, Mormon actually have the advantage. And not only that, they do start on the favored side of the defense. So they will be able to get maybe those early rounds, maybe even that 5-1 half again. And I think that was maybe one of the problems for the Unks going into Night Haven. The fact that they had such a big deficit going into their own defender-sided like half, it made it such a big hill to climb, and I think that maybe got into the minds of them, probably not though, seeing how they are the Unks, they've been around here for such a long time. But going into this map, I want to see, like you said, more of what they did on Cafe, more of those takes where they use their util, they use their drones, they set up for their execute quicker, and they just get ready to take those picks early on. Even if they have a man disadvantage, they were able on Cafe to just get the execute ready and just no matter what, get it down and get the picks in that execute.
Yeah, and for sure, and but definitely with Mormon Battalion started on the defense, obviously it's not the greatest, you know, position. Obviously, after losing 7-2, you want to be able to start on defense yourself if you could, but that's not going to be the situation here. With Consulate, it's not a big map, it is a very long map. I think, right, it's going to come down to who can take control of the choke points longer on each of the sites. If you're upstairs in admin, if you're upstairs in like party CEO, it's going to be a matter of like, hey, can we get control of admin side if we're doing it? Can we get it fast? Or if you're doing the like just a CEO direct, can we push these guys away from the window? That way we can jump in and plant, prevent the nitros or the smokes. Can we clear out yellow and be able to, you know, get control of those points that we need? That's going to be what really shows between these two teams. I think Unk needs to just watch out for the early aggression, be able to shut it down, and then be able to set themselves up like they were doing on Cafe, where they had a minute 45, or even a minute. I would say even down to a minute, it's fine. They took the time that they need to drone and clear out each position that they needed. If they can't do it here, Mormon Battalion is going to quickly take over these defenses, and it's going to be a harsh battle to climb up from.
We're going to see how they get into this map. We're now going to be put into the game, and Mormon Battalion obviously will get the first ban as well, starting on that defender-sided. They've had 2 different bans on this when they're banning attackers. We saw Dokube on the first map, and then Monty on the second map. Obviously, Dokube was actually used for them. We saw it in that final round, being used by the E-sub of Mendez. Was able to get a double to end out the last game. Who will it be this time? It will be that Monty again. Such a powerful operator in taking ground, especially with the current meta. And now, take it away with the rest of the bans, Retro.
Obviously, Montang's been banned through all 3 of these maps. Like we talked about, shields are in a very powerful position, and obviously, with a map like this, where, like I said, it's not big, you can definitely use a lot of those choke points with the Montang to clear and push defenders off. Now, Ying comes out on the board. Obviously, I think she's obviously powerful on every map, but a map like this, where you can use her on like yellow, through wall, or even in those key positions that you need to take ground of, she's going to be a good ban to get out of here when, you know, the half switches over. Same thing with Valkyrie. Those black eye cams can be placed anywhere. They can catch you off guard, and if you're not paying attention to them, you could easily be put into a minefield with nitros from above, below, depending on wherever you choose to throw them, or even possibility for flanks on the board. Getting her off that board allows you a little bit more leeway. And finally, last but not least, a zombie's coming out. With a zombie being out on the board, it allows a lot of those off angles that can be created from her, or a lot of those positions that you could be recontested from. It's gonna be a lot easier for you to take those fights to clear that ground that you need for yourself.
And starting into the game, we will see the top floor bomb site coming out from one battalion. We'll see similar operators. An interesting operator for me is going to be the Sentry. Me personally, I don't like Sentry. I think it's a very pointless operator to bring, because I feel like if you want a shield, bring maybe a different operator. Bring a Warden that you already have on the board. You'll see here the Sentry is going to be bringing, it looks like a shield and a C4. I feel like a stronger operator in this situation could be even an LR. I'd say an ability and a shield is always more useful than a C4 and a shield or something like that. That's me personally, but maybe they're keeping the C4s in case there is going to be a rush. But in that situation, I'd say the EMPs just completely stop out your C4. Anyway, you'll see the Vigil come out quite a lot from Mormon. It was basically every single defending round on Nighthaven always was Volks, but on that Vigil with the Boss G, didn't have massive impact, but he didn't really need to when Exige was cooking as much as he was. And we're going to see him try to cook some more with the fire of Goyo as Cassia goes for an early spawn peek, but there's someone made door and they could be caught out here.
Not gonna lie, just to be off topic here, take a moment while this round's developing. I was trying to fix myself and I knocked my glasses off my face and broke them, so right in front of the cast. So, apart from that little moment, got him fixed. Scary's gonna manage to get a run out spawn peek and get one. Volsper's gonna take out Zolaris himself. 2 picks on the board. Mormon Battalion, just like I was fearing for the Unks. Unks needing to be able to pay attention to those runouts and those aggressive plays, failed to do so, and now they're down 2 people on the board. Not a favorable position you want to be in if you're Mormon Battalion here, or I'm at the Unks.
And the operator's taken off the board. You have the Unstoppable, who was actually the top performing player in the last game for the Unks. As I'm saying that, Millsy at least gets one back onto Scary. Question marks going in the chat. Millsy basically all the way dead though, so it doesn't really matter. But the Grim going out, that's going to be your execute operator, the operator that you use to dislodge those players from their power positions. It's funny about Grim, because I feel like when he first got introduced in the game, and I think this happens with a lot of operators, honestly, they get pointed at as a joke, as useless, as a meme. You'll see that with a Boss G, start out as a meme. Thinker, start out as a meme. Grim, start out as a meme. And now they're all into the power creep, really strong operators. We're going to see Stir and, I was about to say, taking up this early ground into yellow, but Millsy taken out. It's all up to Engage and Stir. One goes down, Exige shooting the body of Stir, and it's all up to Engage, as Exige is still shooting the body with the pistol as well. Engage maybe waiting for this pick. Scary spamming the question mark emotes in the chat. And now Engage looking for maybe a bait pick coming out. Gonna get one. Nope, never mind. He just doesn't react as Exige starts the map as he ended the last one, a 2K on the board.
Oh, wow. What a round for Mormon Battalion. Being able to get not 1, but 2 spawn peaks off the rip. Being able to set the tempo and being able to be confident in their ability to make plays. They are just running around. They're having, by the looks of it, they're just having fun. They don't care. They're just making these plays. Whatever happens, happens. They know they're back on even ground. It's no longer a matter of it's a best of 3. It's a matter of it's just one map decides everything. Doesn't matter if Unks won the first map. Mormon Battalion got one back and managed, we're back to the very beginning. We're in a situation where a max total of 15 rounds ultimately decides this series, whereas it was like map 1 and 2 could have been that decider. And just like we were talking about a little bit, Milo, the fact that, we were a little bit worried with the Mormon Battalion going on the Nighthaven thinking Unks, a map that they reasonably like with these guys, like they reasonably like and love to play, getting swept out of their hands so fast. And now, the first round, Mormon Battalion, Console's a map they like to play, a map they like to run around on. They like to get creative on. They like to take fights on. And they're showing it through the first round with the way they're spawn peeking, the way they're getting aggressive. Scary's taking over the Vigil this time. No Boss G, but I mean, still, this guy's going to try and look and hunt for a pick by any means necessary.
I mean, even with the boss tree coming out and stealing all the spotlight, I do think the K1A is still a really good gun, and I think it's more like used for that run and gun kind of meta that the Mormon Battalion are currently using at this current moment in time. As the boss tree, I think its main ability is holding angles. Obviously, you never really want to swing with that boss tree. The Vigil going to be spotted on the cam. The ability wasn't activated until late on, and the Jackal's going to be a perfect counter, being able to scan out the footprints, figure out where this player is. But do they know that the Malusi is also up there on this top floor with him? Siege also somewhere else in and around the site, in and around the yellow stairs, actually going to be playing that position very aggressively. But Volt's been scary, very close together here, maybe looking to at least get a pick back if one is traded out.
You know, my lens won't pop back in, and it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. Apart from nothing that's absolutely going on right now. Slowly looking to get that wall open. Early contention, but by the looks of it, Unks are struggling to get inside the building. They're stuck droning the same things they've droned once or twice before. They haven't taken any capitalization. And Scary and Exige look like they're ready to fly. They look like they're ready to, you know, take this right to them. Exige is looking to get a little bit of aggressive on this window. Milo, is he going to jump out? Who knows?
I don't know if he's going to jump out, maybe just swing the window. Stir is right out there, so he may actually be able to see him if he just swings it. Will Stir get on the rappel? No, he's going to be going to that yellow window. So Siege could fly out and maybe get the pick here. Curious to see what the Jackal is doing, because he's been in lobby for the entirety of this game so far, looking for that pick on Devote,
wow.
not being able to find it. Neither player goes down. How are they alive? How is either player alive? The flashbang going to go out. Cassia not actually blinded either, so able to get out scot-free. The Deimos track gonna go out, but he's above hard floor now, so it doesn't really matter in the end of the day. This Deimos is playing a really rough game, but look at that, Volsper unworthy of the buck, and it's a free pick as Exige at least.
Wow.
3 frags back though.
I think they know that Exige is trying to make a flank here. Obviously, he takes out Zolaris. It took him almost the entire round. Final minute on the board. Exige is going to get one himself, or he's getting a second kill onto Stella with the Nitro play. They're looking to try and see if they can deal with the Vigil, but Vigil's going to end up taking the path that's, you know, no one's watching right now. You're down to the last 30 seconds, and I was going to say a minute's a lot of time, even if, you know, it takes you a little bit to get control into this map. You want to make sure that people are in positions the way they should be and contesting the ground that they should be and getting the drones in. But right now, by the looks of it, Mormon Battalion are just going to continue to fry and eat Unks alive. They take another round against these guys. The early people, Scary, Exige, even Volsper from time to time, are just getting in their face and taking these fights. If you're Unks, it might be time to, instead of spreading out and trying to individually hit different parts of the map, it might be time to double up or play like 3 together and then 2 somewhere else as cuts or droners, and start making progress on clearing these guys out one by one. Because right now, Mormon Battalion, they're just running around the map, and, you know, they're just playing their game, and they're up 2-0 right now. Started up 2-0 last map, went up 4 rounds before dropping one, and as of right now, we could be seeing the same thing. Last time the series was played, it was the same situation. Unks took the first map, Mormon Battalion struck back hard on the second map, and Bank went 6-8, but Mormon Battalion managed to seal it out. And then Consulate was a breeze for Mormon, and by the looks of it, it could be the same thing again, right? We could be seeing a repeat of last time's matchup.
I think their main problem right now is Exige. They are letting him fly all over the map. They did it on Night Heaven. They are doing it again on Control. He's able to get a 2k in both of these rounds. They need to find a way to just shut him down. He's able to somehow get a pick. They know, okay, he's on the top floor. Someone stop him. C4 goes out and he kills another guy. It's like, okay, how is this happening, guys? They need to find a way to shut him down. And you're right, it's just this early aggression coming out. It feels like they're taking too many solo gunfights against this roam coming out from Mormon. On the last one, it looked like they were attempting to somewhat ignore it. Just be like, this top floor doesn't matter to us. Let's completely ignore this roam that's going on. But in the end, Jake, Exige, Allen made them realize something's going on. Someone had to stop him, and it didn't happen. The Fuse is an interesting pick. Going to be put on that main window. And he's on the shield. I'm curious to see how this is going to go down for Star.
Definitely an interesting situation. Onks right now having difficulties again getting inside the building. They're going to look to use that fuse hard breach in the nade to try and clear off anything that's on the wall, and they're not going to get it. I wonder if it's below or on the other side of the concrete wall. Maybe even on, there's like a water tank in Pro that you can sit on and you can place it. That's where teams will like to put it sometimes, but by the looks of it, Pro Wall's not getting opened anytime soon. And ground finally being taken on the side of the Unks. They're getting inside of, they're just taking advantage of the fact that all of admin side is completely clear. Obviously the Nitro is a little bit of a trip, but if they're finding ground that they need to be taking, just like they failed to do the first 2 rounds, and they're working off it. They're getting something to work off of rather than standing outside the map. Now my only concern right now is, like you said, Exige definitely is being the main issue with this team. But I also want to take into account Scary and Volsper. They're putting a lot of pressure around these guys, making them question themselves and have to think situations through. And either Exige has been the main focus, but like, if not, it's been Scary from time to time, or it's been Volsper, who have just managed to take those fights in place of Exige, and it's keeping them on their toes. Right now, finally, by the looks of it, Unks are going to manage to take control of the top floor, but as I say that, stuff. The fuse shield that we were hoping to see make some progress, quickly taken out, and Scary's gonna drop Zolaris real fast. He's running around in the basement. I don't think he knows Engage is down there right now, walking around. Cass is gonna get down by Unstoppable, bringing the count a little closer than what it was prior. Exige and Engage not making any contact with each other, not even tracking. They see the guy on the vert. Unstoppable manages to pick up the second kill, evening out the odds for his team. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to look for an execute, whether it's down yellow or whether it's a hash drop if they can do it. They have to get something going now. Engage, I think he's worried with Exige, and they do have a ping on him. They know Exige is going to try and make a last-second flank somewhere. But they knew! They had a ping! And he still capitalizes! Unstoppable manages to pick up the refrag. Volsper quickly taking out Engage here. And you're down to 5 seconds with no ground, no knowledge of these guys, and you're just gonna get shot and taken out from all directions. Scary seals the round for Mormon Battalion. Another 3-0 lead for these guys.
I said they need to get drones on Exige and figure out where he is and shut him down. Maybe it doesn't matter. Exige is just gonna float. He is floating around the map, killing everyone right now. But I feel like overall that was beautiful teamwork play. They were able to slow down the approach of them getting that top floor. Yes, they gave them admin completely for free, but where the actual site mattered was obviously that middle floor. And it took them so long to actually get not only the above site vertical control, then obviously below site vertical control. They took out Exige with 20 seconds left. And not only that, they only had 2 players left. So in the end, it did not matter. They only had 20 seconds left to really execute with 2 people left. I think it was just beautiful time play and time management from Mormon. I think Unks just need to work better and work quicker on trying to establish that control of the top floor hold.
And like I was saying the first time, it's always, even if Exige is not finding that first kill for his team, it's always somebody else that's managing to do it. Cass last round, I think the holes that was made with the Nitro cell, he was able to find the fuse through Ver. I wouldn't see any world where Fuse would go downstairs by himself being a shield op. So I'm assuming that break room vert that was made with the Nitro cell was what took him out, and what ultimately gave Cass that first pick for his team on the side of Mormon Battalion. I think at this point, if you're Unks, I think like they did, it took them a little bit, but they finally did. You just find one area to hit, whether that as I try and give him some help, Volsper's just gonna manage to find. So that's your fuse gone. I'm assuming he had his shield. Absolute dominance right now in Mormon Battalion. Zolaris 0-3, Stu 0-4, Millie's is 1-3, Matt's 1-3, and they just can't get nothing going. Like I was saying, the goal for me with these guys is just take one side of the map as the team. Obviously get a camp, like take admin side, 3 of you, maybe open up the pro wall, have one guy watch below for the flank, he can walk up Visa late or make sure that no nitros come out, contest Volsper, who in this scenario is below. But this is not happening. They're continuing to try to push around different parts. They're just getting run out on. They're just getting swung. And there's just no capitalization, no knowledge of it. Or if there is, they're just failing to secure the picks needed. Because all Mormon's doing is one by one just swinging things. And they're just taking advantage of it. Engage manages to find the pick back onto Volsper here. So he's going to even out the count a little bit. And as I say that, Tachanka's going to go to town on Millie's, absolutely hosing him down. I mean, Milo... Mormon just have full throttle this game. I don't know what to say.
Guns are completely up, and it just looks like they're firing. Teamwork play, and Scary gets another one. How is he frying right now on that Tachanka LMG with the fire itself coming out? Now they have to figure out in this 2v4, how can they dislodge the player on this vending shield, because it's such a power play position. The flawless drone comes out, and he's still able to get the pick unengaged. Solaris in this 1v4, practically impossible. He at least gets one onto Cassia, but now with Scary, Mendes, and Exige all in his way, it didn't really matter. The player that has normally been on the forefront of each of these rounds didn't really need to do anything, because his team is fragging. It's a whole team right now fighting against the Unks, and right now they just haven't shown up to the party.
It's absolute just chaos on the side of Unks. No, they just don't have control of anything. It's the same struggles as Nighthaven. You're losing people way too early before anything can get started. You have to just work something as a team at this point. Just come together. There's 5 of you. Pressure it together. Hold the angles of the cuts on these guys that are swinging out. And stop taking fights alone. These situations where you're trying to take one-on-one by yourself is not working for you. It hasn't worked the first 3 rounds. I don't know why you would try it this round. It's just Scary, Exige, and even Cass or Volsper are just hitting crazy shots just like that one right there. Good quick peek. Is it a one-tap? It's not a one-tap, but still, I would say it's still a pretty tight shot to be able to secure that. 4 rounds. Unks have no answer and are going to focus on this timeout. What do you think they're going to be talking about during this timeout, Milo?
I'm going to talk about that overall team play, as it does seem like you said, so many individual gunfights coming up between the two teams, and Mormon Battalion are winning every single one. I don't think it's all about skill, but I feel like when you're up against a team like Mormon, they know how to take these 60-40 gunfights. They're never going to be always 50-50 gunfights, and especially on a site like Consulate, where it's such defender-sided, you know the defenders are going to have the advantage in basically every single gunfight they take. The Unks need to take 2v1 gunfights, not these 1v1s, as it will always be an advantage to the defenders when taking these gunfights. So I think that's it. It's their overall team play and how they can start in the early round to at least get maybe a man advantage, so then they can start upsetting the execute, because I don't think in any of these rounds an execute has even been set up.
I don't even think they've managed to like get to a point where they can open up for an execute. There's just always a person or 2 people dead, or they're just taking those individual 50-50 fights that a lot of these fights aren't even like in their favor. And even if they're holding angles like the Coffin guy did, absolutely just got torn up by Scary. At this point, I think you just have to dump utility, hold a gun up on in an area you can be swung from, and just commit to something. Because right now, like I said, all this individual stuff and this individual play that you're trying to do, trying to force so many different parts of the map, it's not working. From this point forward, you just need to look to try and isolate Scary, isolate Exige, Cass or Volsper if they're roaming, and just start playing in positions where, you know, how do I want to put it? Play in positions where you're together and not separated. That way, if one of you go down, it's a 50-50 fight back, or maybe you've lit up the first guy, you can easily refrag him. Because right now, I think Mormon's had first pick just like last time, every time. I think since the start of Nighthaven, they're like, I think they're up to like 10-2 on entry game. It's absolutely absurd. And even the round like on Nighthaven that Millie's got the first pick, they didn't even win it. So I think right now you just gotta either start baiting out these picks or isolating positions fast. Or I would say even at this point, skip the roam, just flood direct hard.
It looks like they're trying to take out Scary. He's right close to the window and jumps up, but it's a free pick coming out for Engage. Scary go for maybe a little bit too much aggression, maybe a too much ego on the side of Scary. He says a holy I don't know if I can say that word. He says holy S word. Exige down below this time round out on the Cade. He was more roaming around, putting out that early aggression. It looks like everyone is now going to be in the basement other than Volsper, still putting up that aggression inside the teller's area. He knows that the push is going to be coming in around that admin side take, just because of how many players Scary actually saw in that overall position. And now he's putting more talk in that old chat, asking if they're going to do something.
Now, obviously, Scary's death obviously didn't come free. Engage took some damage, but at the same time, too, when you're a vigil, you're an operator, obviously, you don't want to lose a person early, but at the same time, To me, I don't even think losing his life was bad. Well, Mendez obviously going down to his lairs is not the ideal situation, but like I was saying, you generally know where the push is going to come from. You see 3, 4, even 5 people come out on one side, and you kind of get an idea of how this push is going to go. But now Mormon Battalion's in a situation where they kind of have to compress themselves a little bit and start looking to play, a little bit more tighter siege, or if not, they're going to have to start looking to try and isolate picks back, because obviously Onks are starting to play a little bit of a situation where they stretch out. If any time's going to be the golden time, it's going to be now to try and find a fight. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in a scenario where you're slowly getting crunched down second by second, and definitely in this final minute where Onks has so much time, like they were doing on Cafe, take their time, open the walls, open up the positions, catch these people that are trying to contest off guard, just like that. Millies catches Volsberg, whether that's through Ver or through him trying to walk up Visa. You're now in a 2v4 situation, or a 2v5 situation, excuse me, with 40 seconds left and no ground. You're getting funneled in. 2 on the wall, 1 yellow, 1 spiral, 1 coming in behind. It's going to be absolute mayhem for Exige and Cass to try and hold this out if they want to try and take a 5-0 lead here.
Siege at least gets one, taking down Unstoppable. Not going to be able to get another as he goes down to the last and Star. He has to find a pick onto Cassia. All I'm saying is on Nighthaven Lab, they were able to get the 5th round as well after going down 4-0. This is looking very similar to what happened on Nighthaven. I'm not going to say it will end 7-2 as well, but it looks like the script is currently repeating itself on the side of this game. We're going to have a little bit of a pause. Not going to a break, though. We're going to have a little bit of a tech pause so we can talk through the last round and what just happened. It felt like they more just played together. Maybe a little bit of early aggression by Scary just wasn't the smartest play, but I felt like they were more together and just played better behind each other, I'd say.
I think, yeah, ego's definitely high right now. Definitely being up 4-0 twice back-to-back maps, and even, you have a lot of leeway. You have 3 rounds and 1 more defensive half to take 5-1 against the Onks. I think if you want to have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of leeway, obviously. There's nothing wrong with that. And, Scary's always been the type of person, he's not afraid to have fun. He's not afraid to talk. He's not afraid to try and get in your head. It's what he loves to do. He loves to chalk you. Now, whether you give into it or not is what makes or breaks a lot of these teams. Now, I'm not relatively saying, the Onks are chalked. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We don't know. We can't hear their comms. But you're definitely in a situation now where you are up a map, and now you're on the back foot by a landslide right now. Obviously, still a whole half left to go. You have defense, so it's not like you're falling into the attacks down 4-1, 4-2, depending on how this last round goes. So you have a lot of opportunities to bring it back on defense. It's a map where, like I was stating at the beginning and we were talking about, it's going to be about how you can hold those choke points and not give up those ones. Obviously, it's going to be a matter of making sure that Exige or anybody else that's with playing around on those attacks can't cut you guys off. Nighthaven, Exige was all over the place doing that, finding himself in positions where he could catch defenders off guard, get a pick, get 2 picks, get 3 or more, and allow his team leeway to execute. If you can make sure you stay out of those red zones, those lines of fires, or cut-off positions that, Mormon Battalion is putting themselves in while doing a push, I think you're going to be able to give yourself a lot more opportunity to bring this game back. Now, obviously, going into this, Onks gives them a little bit of time to talk, give a real big focus on this last round. I don't think they fully realized that Mormon Battalion are skipping that top floor here. They're just going to go straight to the piano room. They felt confident on it. They played really well on it. And try and look to take this 5-1. Mirrors on the board. Possibly to put an extension upstairs. Maybe to hold down the office. To kind of see into like over by bathroom, yellow, depending on where you want to set up those mirrors. However they want to play the extension. It's not really a site where you need to be on site, maybe a person, but definitely it's about how you can hold and contest above without losing it too fast, but also not letting Onks get into a position where they can safely plant.
Looking at the operators coming out from the Unks, we can see Shrieker come out, an interesting operator, obviously being able to bring 2 sets of gadgets. No ability, though. And then the Blitz, again, coming out for the Unks. Hasn't really worked out for them. No shield has worked out for them on the side of College Shield. You had the Fuse Shield come out twice. Both times, not really working out for them. And especially on this site. Last time the Fuse Shield came out on this piano site, definitely didn't work out. Obviously, they don't know it's going to be the piano site. They may think it's going to be the basement site again, because obviously on Nighthaven, when Mormon Battalion first lost their defending round, they said, let's try the same site again. They tried it again, didn't work out the second time round. So we're going to see if this time switching up the site will work out for them. Expedition Piano was the closest Unks got, other than last round, to a round win on the first side rotation. It's more about if they can deal with that downstairs pressure a little bit quicker, because if they dealt with Siege, I think they definitely could have then won out the round.
Yeah, and obviously as we're continuing to wait for Scary to launch back into the game, technical issues, whether it was, we're losing we're losing people, so by the looks of it, we're gonna get ready to head into a rehost here, like you were talking about. It's a matter of, what Unks can do to secure this last round. Obviously, you go into a 5-1 scenario, you're on defense, so you have a round for error, but obviously 4-2 is gonna put you in a little bit more of that, give you a little bit more leeway in case you start dropping on defenses. We don't know what Mormon Battalion has planned for these attacks. We don't know how they're gonna attack, but it's something that it's going to be in a situation where it's going to be a matter of how can Unks keep themselves alive, how can they make sure they're not getting cut off by players like Exige on those crosses or those awkward positions off angles, and how can they really hunker down in areas that need to be held down in, such as the vending machine for top floor. If Mormon Battalion decides to do a backside take, how can you continue to hold service for the longest point, or even stop the push from spiral? How can you keep the garage wall close? If it's the first floor, are we looking for a bottom up here, or are we looking for a top down? How can we really contest and stall out as much time as possible? The way that, Unks have been playing, if they have time and they have man count, they're going to beat you in most scenarios, which they have, no matter what the score is. 7-2, the 2 rounds that they won, they had count, they had time to work with, and they worked it out really well. I mean, Nighthaven, they had that one round, they just hit fast and it worked. But on Cafe, they took the time that they needed. They were explosive. Then they slowed down, found who they needed. They said, hey, this is going to be the guy we have to clear for the execute. How can we work him with our last few minutes or last few seconds on the clock? But while we're waiting for these 2 guys to come back, next game's coming up. We'll take a moment to just kind of brush over it, give a little bit of predictions, Milo. Wildcard Aces versus Fluffy Aimers. That's the second game of tonight. Obviously, Fluffy Aimers were the BGS Season 1 champs. They also were mukbang champs at one point in time, and they have a pretty decent resume of first and second place finishes throughout T4, T3, T2, and even parts of T1. What are you thinking about that game, Milo?
I'd say Fluffy Aimers are definitely the favourite team going into that. Obviously, there's history on between both teams. You have Emilio on Fluffy Aimers currently, who used to be part of Wildcard Aces. He was part of that Wildcard Aces roster that qualified for Element 2, and then eventually... not Element 2, Element 3, then eventually left that team, went on to join Fluffy Aimers, who won this series, got to the final of the Wildcard Restart, funny enough, leaving Wildcard Aces, get to the final of Wildcard Restart, beat 2 Pro League teams to get there. So I'd say a lot of history going through, but I definitely would say Fluffy Aimers are the favourite, especially bringing in Prodigy's son, former teammate of the Gasher on TSM, Snake is meta, Snake himself, seeing if definitely with that adjustment to the team, they definitely should be able to walk across that game. Not saying Wildcard Aces are a bad team, Fluffy Aimers just look that much better.
I think too, Wildcard Aces, they apart from Kronk and Teddy being I think the longest standing player on that edition of the Wildcard Aces roster, I really believe that Fluffy Aimers, they have a lot more experience. I would say they're easily in the top 3, top 2, even second place in all of T2 and all of amateur comp. Obviously behind, CL for Life Packers team that just made the Montreal Major, made an absolute insane run through the LCQ. But I still think when it comes to the rest of the comp scene, obviously we haven't seen SSGA in a little bit. They're obviously doing their own thing, whether they're practicing, preparing for, maybe Element 4, which just got announced I think today or yesterday. It's relatively on the horizon. It's going to be something that we're interested to see. But I think just the way that Fluffy Aimers is going to be leading us, I think they have a lot more experience, especially with bringing Snake. They have a lot more chemistry and synergy. I think it's going to be a 2-0 on the side of them. While we're waiting here, give the players a few minutes to get back into the lobby, get this game going. We're going to go on a quick break to allow those players that time to get back in. And we'll be back here with a few minutes to finish up the rest of map 3.
You know you left me lonely, I could tell them the whole story. It may take a couple hours, I've got time, let's get to chat. How could I explain the situation? situation. Man, it's so damn complicated. Where do I start? Where do I end? I should go back to bed. I'm going back to all the basics, teaching myself now how to erase it. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm afraid, too scared to face it. I just want consistent clarity, but all my thoughts destroying me. Some peace of mind is all I need to give peace to all of my family. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave. You try but can't get through to me. It's not you, yeah, it's always me. I close my heart to you, you see it opens up for nobody. It's been so hard to fall asleep. The weather always makes my nose bleed, makes my nose bleed. It's so hard to believe that one day I'll feel peace. I want control over my life, I want that driver's seat. Yeah, it's not you that I need. You push me down when I'm weak. You were never there for me. Go pick up your keys and leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. You think you're everything I need, but I gotta leave. I can't go back to you, my friend. Don't even ask, don't play pretend. Cause you think you are everything I need, but I gotta leave.
Took a couple L's this week, it's been hard to get out of bed. Never looked that way at me. I swear she's fucking with my head. Take me far away from pain. Take me far away, far from yesterday. This ain't a love story, it's a funeral. Darling, damn, you look beautiful. You're killing my heart, it's the usual. Killing my heart, it's the usual. All you do is waste my time. Done being a victim of your phony love. All you do is waste my time.
Welcome back. We're here for the rest of the game. Sorry for the long delay. We had some Ubisoft bugs, obviously, always going to happen with Siege, but we're here for round 6, the final round of Mormon's defending half. How will it go down? Will they get the 5-1 scoreline like they did on Lighthaven?
I don't know. Right now, with the way the Mormon's been playing, obviously, apart from the round where Scary just decided to jump out at him, and I think if they just played a little bit more together, don't give up any of these picks, or continue to play that chaotic game of Siege that they've been playing, just run around and hit in different locations, catch people off guard, I think they're going to easily take this round. But I think if Mormon focuses on like pushing together like they did that one round, and then obviously prior to execute positioning themselves, they had person on Spiral, they had a person on Visa's side covering those flanks, 2 Garage and 1 Yellow, and being able to really find those picks and enclose on to Mormon Battalion, I think they take this half 4-2. So it's just a matter of who plays better Siege, or who plays the necessary Siege needed to secure this round, rather than any team needing to do anything that, like, needing to do something so far different than what they've been doing. It's just a matter of who's going to thrive in their style best going into this final defense and attack for both these teams before the switch. Now, coming out here, early ground going to be taken. We're going, like before we went on the pause, our long pause, we were going for a, whatchamacallit, a piano expedition type or site hold. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of vert played. I don't really see anybody on site right now unless the one guy's sitting in the closet. They're going to look to open up this pro wall early, start clearing out some of these castles or any windows or doors that may be barricaded on the side. Engage taking in below. I think he knows that somebody's there with him. He's going to manage to take the fight and take out Exige early. Exactly what not Mormon Battalion, what Unks needed. They needed that early ground, being able to find that early pick and start enclosing. Engage, perfect entry on the side of Unks, giving them what they need in the ground that's needed to be taken. Obviously, we have Frost sitting back on site now. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward scenario. Now knowing you have multiple different positions to cover with Engage being below, you have Ace and Thatcher putting pressure on top. Maybe they're going to switch to a complete bottom up here, which looks, by the looks of it, they're going to go completely horizontal here and maybe skip out on that top floor.
Yeah, I said last time the thing they needed to do was take out Siege on below so they were able to then execute on that main site quicker without having to deal with Exige. And obviously they lost their lives last time one trying to deal with him. Problem is now they have to deal with Volsper and Mender still on this top floor having full vertical control with no one really here to just stop them. These mirror just working up very strong to help them keep this vertical advantage. Currently, Engage, only one with a kill on this board. The rest of the players, they're a bit slow in this game, 5 rounds in, 0 kills each. That's, that's quite crazy to be fair. All rounds must have ended on time to be fair. But, gonna see how they now execute onto this site going out.
They're going to look to make a push right through yellow side here, smoke out and go for the plant. No warden on the board, so they're not going to be able to see. It's going to be a massive blind fire, completely flooding this yellow side. Mormon Battalion in a position where they have no control. The flank's going to go out, but Zalaris is holding the window. Stud's going to proceed to fall back. He's going to get ID onto the person in bench hall. Quickly going to be dispatched of the other guy, the ace inside of sight, unstoppable, getting the double kill needed. No pressure or no delay, contention on the side of Mormon Battalion, allowing Unks to set themselves up and take where they need to. Unstoppable with a triple kill. This guy's been in sight, causing issues for this team. He's going to look to try and take a fourth. He's actually going to get down. Blitz is going to look to start making pressure here onto Volsper. He's going to actually fall back with 12 seconds left. It looks like Unks are going to end up securing this round, and as we fall to the final 7 seconds, Engage takes that final fight, securing the 4-2 half for Unks, giving them a little bit more leeway going into his defense to make mistakes or to kind of adapt and adjust depending on how these rounds go. Much needed round on the side of Unks. Being down in a 1-5 scenario would not have been ideal, especially on map 3.
Yeah, very strong game coming out from Unks there. They were able to figure out what the weaknesses was. Like you said, there was no one on the ball, so it was a beautiful smoke play in the end. Able to obviously get the below pressure dead early on, allow them to go for that play. It's surprisingly seeing Exige not on that pulse down below, normally what you'd see. Instead you see the castle. They get the 2 rounds, obviously that's better than what they had last time out on that opening path. Obviously, there was a 4-1 on Nighthaven. But you gotta say, unstoppable, like its namesake in that last round, he was unstoppable. A beautiful 3K in the round, as he was able to just take site completely on his own, getting that 3K with the Blitz planting. He was the perfect cover for him as he stopped Scary rushing through, trying to take out that Blitz.
Great positioning for him to walk around the piano too, to get himself on an off angle, distracting, making it to where Scary had no idea that he was there. Scary rushing to obviously try and take out the Blitz, stuck in the smoke, putting that bomb down for Unks. Obviously, time coming down to it before Engage securing the final kill. So even if magically, their last guy was able to, on the side of Mormon Battalion, was able to secure the kills needed, he didn't have any time. First round, we're going upstairs, CEO office side for the side of the Unks. Looks like, from what I'm looking, it might be a CEO direct here. You have the Nomad for the air jabs, Buck to go below to clear out anybody else's position. You have Capital to play the window to burn out and fly in. Thatcher's obviously going to be used for the EMPs to deny any nitros to come that way. The only issue here and the only question that's really going to be an X factor for the side of the Unks is that Tachanka. Legion's down below in the basement, just kind of wandering around right now, not providing anything. They're going to look to burn the they're gonna look to burn Unstoppable out of this corner. Obviously the Warden's able to use his glasses to deny. They're gonna know he's there and do what they can to get him out, but that first Capital Bolt's not gonna connect. Mills is gonna manage to find Scary below. That's gonna be the book. Now you've lost the opportunity to make Vert and clear that guy out. Engage and Mendez gonna be found by Engage, the other guy playing down below, wandering around. No intel on the side of Mormon Battalion for these guys. Warden's gonna take the gunfight and do a little bit of damage to Exige, not a lot. Cass managing to jump in and find one. That's actually going to be the Warden here. Issue is, you're still down a man and don't have any... Oh, fire got messed up there. Tachanka's going to be able to back it up and continue shooting those fires, keeping anybody away from jumping in the window. Millie's playing inside a box here, looking to just hold the vert for anybody who tries to go up yellow. The side of Mormon, you're in a little bit of a rough scenario. Admin side, from what I was looking at the start of the round, is weak, but you don't really have any contention inside the building. You have Tachanka that's still on the board, can cause a lot of denial, can deny plant from just about anywhere at a distance. You have Volsper, he's just stuck outside droning too. Tachanka's just burning out. They have the ping on the Mute. Mute does not know there's a cam on him, or he's looking for. He sees one, but I don't think he sees the other one, unless that was one. Volsper trying to go below to see if he can clear him out through Vert, but it's going to be unsuccessful in doing so.
It's looking like they just need to find someone to go down. The early round was really weak as they weren't able to secure the players from down below. The smoke goes out, doesn't really land, but Cassie about to just rapidly go for this plant with a shotgun close quarters. It won't work out. Volsper actually TKing Cassia back to his ways on Cafe. He's getting his third TK in this entire game so far, but Volsper at least refragged his own kill, this time onto Millsy. Now in this 2v3, it generally isn't impossible for the side of Mormon, but they've got to do it quickly. 15 seconds left now on the board for Volsper and Exige to clutch us out. Now only Exige, but Engage and Stir able to flatten those final two players and give them their first round on the defense.
Perfect first round for the side of Unks there. Obviously using the Tachanka to hold back. I think it was Millie's and Engage finding the 2 picks below with no intel. I'm kind of starting to wonder if Mormon's going to shift back to the way they played on Cafe, where they were kind of like lackluster on intel in the positions that they needed to. By the looks of it, it felt like they didn't have any intel in the guys below and lost 2 lives with no contention. And even then, when they were trying to get in below, they were trying to put pressure in the positions where there was Vert and they could have easily been taken out from, which is what ended up happening. Obviously, Volsper with his 3rd TK of the entire series. Never a good idea, but I get the idea, trying to take out the Mute and the Capital needing to jump back out there. Just an unfortunate situation, nothing intentional there on that one. But now we're in a situation where Mormon Battalion was up 4-0. Now they're only 1 round ahead, and this game's right back in the favor of Unks and Mormon. It's back to an even split. Unks managing to slowly bring this game back. If you're Mormon, securing this round is going to be massive. You secure this round, it's going to give you, it sets you up for the foundation to take match point, to take series point, and to be able to close this out. But if you allow Unks another round, this allows them opportunity back into the game, opportunity to take back the series that looked like it was completely out of their hands entirely. By the looks of it, Gonna be, for the most part, an entire downstairs bunker here. Maybe one roamer. It's gonna be, by the looks of it, I don't even see two browsers. I don't know. Two browsers in basement too. Oh, Legion's roaming.
I don't think the Unks have a coach, but after that timeout, obviously a beautiful K-Trick, a Siege having no idea that there was going to be electrification on the board for the Unks. That's one exothermic charge already down for the side of Mormon. But I was going to say, I don't think the Unks have a coach, but after that timeout, it seems something has clicked now with the Unks. Obviously, after losing so many rounds on Nighthaven, losing that map, and then being 4-0 down, they took that timeout. Then they've now just won 3 in a row, so something must have clicked, and it must have been a perfect timeout coming out from the IGL of the Unks. They're all experienced players, so they all know how to call and what to do in a certain situation. So they probably just slowed down, talked about what was going wrong, and they fixed it instantly. And now they're allowing themselves to get these rounds back and forth. And now we're going to see if they can continue going on and get 4 in a row and even all the way back up. But Engage on this top floor, looking for Lurk, and I don't think Mormon Battalion have any idea where he is.
My cat just jumped on my desk. I have no clue what she's doing, but now she's up here with me. But anyway, looks like by
the cat wants to cast. Let the cat cast.
Let her cast around. Cat, come here. Oh, she's gone. Don't worry, the cat did not want to cast.
No more cat cast. No more cat cast.
The lights were too bright for you, kitty. It's okay. I love you. Engage still stuck wandering around. Nitro's gonna go out. Is that gonna connect? And it doesn't. He's on the side of the hard floor. I'm assuming he's in benches. Oh yeah, he is. Over by where benches would be, or in the hallway. My biggest question is Millie's is looking to put pressure. Kate Unstoppable was looking to earlier. Obviously, by the looks of it, one Nitro is going out right now. But it's a matter of where's Engage? What can Engage do? And right now, it looks like he's on Spiral. Maybe Millie's is going to contest up with him. Going into the last 45, I think they're tracking that, Engage is trying to put pressure on the backside. But at the same time, I didn't see because my cat jumped up on my desk, but I'm not too sure if they managed to get the hash or if they decided to go for the wall instead. But it looks like the final 30 seconds are going to come out, and there's no picks yet. Engage is looking to be a thorn by the end of this round. By the looks of it, he might go down yellow. He's going to pop the hash, and Unstoppable is going to manage to find one on Exige. I don't know if they're going to hear the hash pop open, but now they have to deal with that. If he chooses to drop last second, Call's going to go. Millie's is going to manage to find a second kill. He walks up Spiral like he was waiting to do. Zolaris is going to get one of his own and executes out here. 2v5 with 2 Nitros on the board in no position to be able to contest. Matt's going to be able to take out the planner here, but quickly Cass is going to refrag him, but there's no ground to take anywhere. And, oh, well, I thought Legion had it, but Unstoppable managing to secure the final kill. Unks is back in the game on the defensive half. We're at a 4-4 situation. The lead that was taken away from, or the lead that Mormon set up from themselves, they've now dropped 4 rounds straight without a response.
As soon as Legion opened that hatch, you saw the Pulse walk up the spiral stairs, take all the ground that the Mormon Battalion had taken back into the control of the Unks. There was just no flank camp. It's seeming familiar on what happened on Cafe for Mormon. Just no information on these flanks, on these backstabs, on the players of the Unks. It just feels like Unks are getting away with murder on these just lurks and flanks. It just needs to be more information coming out from Mormon. Obviously, not many attacks really happened on Nighthaven, as it just looked like they stormed the basement 2 rounds in a row to win out Nighthaven. But right now, I think it's just attacking is the problem for Mormon.
I think right now, even outside the attacks, it feels like the Unks are kind of guiding these executes. Mormon's having some issues getting some of these walls open or getting some of the angles that they need for their attack or the positions that they need for these attacks to be successful. They're losing mana or they're just taking too long. Like, they had, I mean, obviously they didn't have the garage wall open, but, you had hatch open, you had people ready to push down yellow, and you're in a situation where, you're coming to the end of the round, and it's kind of like you're in a situation where you're stuck and you're trying to get inside, you're trying to get an execute going, but you're taking too long. You're allowing the side of Unks to be able to take the time they need, and you're allowing them opportunities to position and set themselves up to recontest the execute, to recontest the flank late when your attention's no longer focused on it.
Now going to see how they're going to take this bomb. So obviously it's the C4 going to go shot in the end. A lot of damage being done to Millie from Volsper actually on the IQ, and the Siege will cut him off perfectly. Beautiful team play actually being showed from Mormon right there. obviously pushed away by the IQ in that dirt area, and then you had Siege perfectly available to have his cut off, and that's man advantage early on for Mormon. They did really well on the defense, being able to get those opening picks, and now they've got another one on attack. I don't think so far in this game they have lost a round where they've had that opening pick. I think it's actually been perfect half either side. But there you go. Exige gets answered back though, all by himself in that basement in the end. Zolaris at least gets his life back, but he's back down to 37 HP, and they know exactly where his flashes go out. Engage, not even blinded.
Yeah, and you're sitting here in a situation where Exige got the first pick. It's the Pulse. Absolutely wonderful pick here, and trade comes out between Engage and Volsper. What an unfortunate situation there. Zolaris is going to manage to find his second kill on the board here onto Mendez. Now you're in a situation, if you're on the side of... Oh, I don't think they know he's there. And yeah, he's going to get one. He's going to get traded. Scary in a 1v2 scenario. This round is quickly falling out of the hands of Mormon Battalion. The goo goes off. It's going to be intel in the position. They're going to look to start trying to contest the vert here from above and below. Nitro's going to go out but not connect. The Maestro cams are everywhere. He's going to drop the hatch, looking to make a play on this guy. Does he know he's Pillar? I don't think he knows anywhere where he's at. Zolaris gets the pre-fire off and takes Scary. And for the first time since excuse me, since Nighthaven, or well, realistically Cafe, because they didn't have any lead on Nighthaven, but for the first time since map 1, the Unks are back in it, and they're taking control of this game with 5 straight. Mormon Battalion here are going to take a few moments to either take a tack timeout, or they're going to have to take a technical pause. Don't really know what's going on. Oh, by the looks of it, by looking at the chat. Yeah, it's a tack timeout. They're going to take a moment, rediscuss this after losing 5 rounds straight. Obviously, after being in control of so much of this series past map 1, now you're in a situation where you were in the lead. What happened? Where did it all go? Did you get too egotistical and take too much control of it? Did you allow yourself just to run around? Now you're in a situation where you're no longer in the driver's seat. Now you're like, hold up. What just happened? We just got punched in the mouth and we have not responded for 5 rounds.
I think it was a perfect timeout. I think it came in a perfect situation. It allowed them to at least get 2 attacking rounds, which is mainly what you need for Consular. And now they've just gotten their full site rotation perfect. They need to now win an off-site. Obviously, with Mormon right now, they need to either win a primary or secondary site to at least stay out defeat. And that's not even thinking about going overtime. I think this map doesn't go overtime. I'm going to be honest, I think the Unks close it out. They've looked so good on their defenses. Even in that last one where they lost that opening pick, they were then able to isolate Exige. They knew he was by himself. They took that fight, won it correctly, and even then, Zolaris, even if he's on low HP, he's able to win 2 other gunfights in that round. I think again, it comes down to a little bit of information. We saw it on Cafe. They got the early round very well. They were able to find that solo person, take him out, but then just the middle round and late round fell apart for them as it allowed players from the Unks to flirt around, get free picks on the side because there was just no drones on them, no information on them, no intel on them, and it allowed them to just get free picks. I want to see a change from Mormon. I want to see them get the information out in the early and late round to allow them to accomplish and execute.
I think if you're Mormon Battalion, kind of like what we were talking about a little bit with the Unks here, you're kind of looking to readjust, and instead of maybe hitting site direct or being direct on your takes, I think you look to try and take control of the ground. I think you try to force out a position that has maybe one person that can fall, or maybe you take over a position that's open and available for you. And you readjust the playstyle that you've been having going on, and now you try and find a point in this map where you can take in, which by the looks of it, they're going to put pressure mostly on this admin side, a couple of people poking around. The biggest factor that's been so far in this final map, apart from Unstoppable having some huge double, even triple kill rounds, is Engage. Ever since he's defensive half, he's been lurking. He's been prowling and he's been moving around between the Legion and the Pulse. He's been giving like a massive amount of intel to his team while keeping himself in positions where even if he's by himself, he's keeping himself out of direct harm's way. And the issue is Mormon going to know that he's on that Pulse, do they? If not, this Pulse can easily be the deciding factor of this round. Could easily put Unks in a position where they're up 6-4. Now, the Nitro does go off in the Pulse, so obviously they know that Nitro's below. Obviously, no connection there. Pulse actually taking more damage than anybody else. But at the same time, even without it, you have a cardiac sensor. The nitro or the nade is going to knock Zolaris' HP gone. Exige is going to get taken out to the pulse below, and that was my concern. Just because he doesn't have a nitro, he still has a cardiac sensor. He can still track you from below. He can still guide his team on what to do. It's a matter of, unless you go to kill him, you gotta keep moving. Cass gonna manage to take out Unstoppable here. Been one of the key players on this half as well. Pulse is gonna fall down to low HP. Legion and Pulse both stuck on one shot, and now the push is going to start changing from much of an well, not really an admin side, but they're going to start working pro. They're going to start working direct, but obviously with this Pulse and the Tachanka, they're going to be able to keep them at bay for this next minute. Obviously now it's a situation where can we keep them at bay until execute and let the kills come out the way they need to.
I have a little bit of insight on that last time. It was actually called out by the normal player, not the sub player, but Aimkey actually called it out. So he's joined back up his team, joining up as a coach basically, and it's looking like it's coming out as to help Zolaris on such low speed, but he's able to get a pick and nearly two, but no, Scary at least kills him. But now it's in the 2v3. How is this turned around? Never mind, it's now a 2v2, but Star still up to try and stop this push going out. Do they know where he is? So Prefire comes out, so know exactly where he is. Now Engage has to help his teammate, but he's nowhere near the site. It's now up to Engage in this 1v2, 17 HP. Do they know where he is? They now do. Cassia takes a lot of damage though. All these players on low HP, and with 12 seconds left, the plant has to go down, and there's pings on one of the players, but it doesn't look like he knows where the plant has gone down. He jumps out the window. Cassia all the way outside, but does he know where Scary is? I don't think he does. They're playing the window repel on this post-plant situation. Scary gets off the window though.
Oh, but is he going to get the defuse off? Oh no, the burt's going to be made from below. The repel guy's going to be in a position where he can't be contested. They're going to have to blind fire. But they're not getting the shots! Oh my lord! Scary is fired, just managing to come in clutch in time. If only that Pulse had more HP, it couldn't have been so much different. Or if he was a little bit further back, if possible. That round almost falling to the Unks after Mormon managed to take control of a lot of that round. I mean, they were down at man count and execute, but still managed to find the picks needed and take control of the round ultimately. Scary gunfight between Engage and Scary. Obviously, if Engage had to just hit his shots there and just make contact, it could have been a 1v1 scenario. And then it could have been a lot different on the side of between Mormon and Unks. But now we're back in game. Obviously, you were talking a little bit how you feel like you don't go into this. I was going to go into OT. I think this is going to go into OT here. They're back downstairs on the basement site. This has been one of the sites they've won with some of the most dominance on the side of Unks. I think from there you're either going back up or you're taking that tertiary site, and it's a matter of who can gauge first pick, who can get the ground needed, and who can secure the spots that need to be without giving up flanks. I think if Mormon Battalion get the ground they need and don't stall out or take too long to call and execute and just go, I think Mormon takes this round easily and now puts Unks back in a situation where they're down.
5 seconds left.
We gotta say, great coaching probably from Aimkey. As soon as the round out is called, they win the next round on the primary bomb site of the Unks. A very close round, like you said. If the fire maybe didn't reach him, just about reached him. Maybe if he had more HP, probably could have gotten it off. Very weird post part in the end. I don't know why Scary gets off the window. He definitely could have just stuck up on top of there. Honestly, I think a bug nearly actually costed Mormon the win, because it looked like Cassia's shotgun didn't break the floor at all. I don't know if that was on our end, or it just looked like maybe a little bit of weird mechanics coming out for Siege itself, but in the end, Mormon at least get the victory.
I think that was actually Striker with the Mira and Jackals, the ITA shotgun. I don't think that was Buck that round, because the Striker was one of the last people alive on Cass. Scary had played it that round, I'm pretty sure, and managed to jump out. Exige on the BLITZ here, the first time we've seen this shield in a minute on the side of Mormon Battalion. They're going to take it slow. Zolaris quickly dropped back to site, but Engage in that lurk rat position. Obviously, Mormon's going to have to keep their heads up and make sure that, Engage doesn't get opportunities to flank or put pressure late round. He's been playing this game very slow. Excuse me, he's been taking the time he needs, sitting back, constantly keeping his presence there. But when you have the team like Mormon who are kind of just skipping out on it and aren't really looking to contest him, it causes issues. It allows Engage to tell his team where to hit, where to go, and allows him to be able to make those plays, as right now he's a top frag for the team. By the looks of it, Mormon's going to manage to get the hatch open, hitting the soft wall instead of the hatch with Therm being on the board. BLITZ is going to start pressuring down, taking a little bit of damage, but nothing Nothing too crazy. The only issue here is they don't know where Engage is at. And with Exige being in a position by himself, if nobody covers that spiral hall, Engage gets a free walk here. But Exige managing to continue to push down. Two people knowing his presence. Now is it going to be the time that Engage chooses to go in? We're coming into the last minute. The first smoke's going to drop. Engage still holding so patient. They're going to look over his direction. They make contact with him. And he's going to get the flash off. He's going to get the kill. He's missing! And he gets the hit! And he gets the kill, Exige! What in such a close fight? Oh my lord.
You gotta say, that's great situational awareness. He checks the corner, even though they don't really have much information that anyone's there. He still checks the corner. He's like, what if someone is here? There could be someone here, let me check. And he checks perfectly, shots through the wall, doesn't land, but Cassius there for the trade, and then Exige, he's got two players watching him, beautiful, but flank and play, he just completely disregards the actual plant going down, and you've got to say, I'd say this full round falls on Exige right now, because he just pulls two players off of site, allows Mormon to push into site, get the plant
flawless,
down.
please. No! I wanted the flawless so bad.
Bro crashed out because the team didn't get a flawless. But
no!
After a timeout right now, teams have now gone flawless through rounds. So far, this has been a theme right now. We've got to say, double coach buff for Mormon right now, as they have both Aimkey and Scoob being able to coach them through that timeout. So, yeah, something has gone right for Mormon in that timeouts. They are using that early round a lot more effectively, worrying about their flank a lot more. You saw there, I would say before the timeout, Exige would have just run past, probably died to the Legion. This time round, he checks it. He checks if someone's flanking him. He sees the Legion. Yes, very scrappy fight. Very, very scrappy fight. But he wins it. He wins the round out, and then because he's alive, he can draw the attention to himself, which allows the rest of the team to just take site for free.
I think absolutely that fight between Exige and Engage was what was going to be the key of the round right there. And lord, did Exige make that fight close. I started missing and I could feel myself bouncing out of my chair. But being able to keep that blitz up and flashing the players, distracting the side of the Unks. At one point, they had like 4 people paying attention to him, or 3 people paying attention to him, allowing the rest of Mormon Battalion to, you know, they had Cass come in and push down Spiral to assist with Exige playing on blitz, and then you had the rest of the team just pretty much hit through wall or just hit through yellow, and they were able to just flood the rest of the site. Absolutely phenomenal play on Exige to be able to pull the attention like the shield was meant to do and intended on that execute, and allowing his team leeway into sight, opening up the gap. Obviously, definitely goes different if Engage manages to secure that fight. And now Mormon Battalion, after blowing 5 rounds and losing the lead, they're back for they're back for match point. Looking to secure this round out. They're going to focus on taking it together. Going to be an admin side focus. Twitch going to probably look to try and take out some additional utility anywhere on the board. Drone falls off. Managed to secure a cam though for a potential late backstab. And I mean, absolutely chaotic gameplay.
Exactly that. We're going to see how they take this site this time round. Obviously, they were able to win it out last time through this admin take because of Scary and Cass staying able to keep alive. No pulse this time round out. I think that was actually a very big addition to the Unks defense last time round. It allowed them to net, I'm pretty sure, 2 picks actually on their own, one of them being Exige while he was trying to get rid of that shield. He's going to be doing the same. Obviously, on that floors, no drones actually left though on the side for Exige, and the shield is still up. So I'd say it's a little bit of a misplay coming out from the player of Exige. Scary going to look to try and get these fireballs out, but the nade goes out, so the shield is going to go down as the fireball also comes out in the same time. And in a minute 30, not much ground has actually been taken for Mormon other than admin control, and now the admin corridor. At least they've got pro open at the same time, so they're probably going to be looking to start a plant on that projector door.
They have eyes on Malusi. Is somebody going to be able to open them on the shot they can? And Unstoppable managing to secure the first pick for his team, playing in a little bit of an off position. Doesn't take no damage. Mormon's in a situation where they're now down in man count. Cass is gone. Looks like the Execute's going to start looking to get pushed here. The Chaka being kept out. Exige is going to manage to secure one here. And oh my god! Legion stays still and gets taken out by Exige. Mendez manages to secure himself too, and the plant's going down. Oh! This could be it. He's gonna miss. Delaris gets taken down by Mendez. A 1v3 scenario. Mormon's gonna manage to fall off. Millie's not gonna hit the shots needed, and they're all just gonna fall back into positions. Millie's with a massive job ahead of him if he wants to be able to take his team into OT. 25 seconds and 3 opponents. Attackers on Mormon falling back, and although the trade goes out, and after 5 rounds down, the aim key Scoob timeout manages to recoup Mormon Battalion to secure the final rounds needed. What a final map of chaos. And I guess you were right, there was no OT in this game, but I don't even know. That was a barn burner. At first, I thought Mormon was going to blow it out, and they were going to sweep it, and then Unks had an incredible 5 rounds, and then the timeout, just to take the time. I think, like we were talking about a little bit, or like I was saying a little bit, Aimkey, I think what he probably said was just to take the time, start opening pressure around, but hitting direct. Stop trying to sit outside. Stop trying to push them back. The Tachanka and Smoke are burning you guys out, and you can't clear them. Either it's because you can't get control of Vert below with Engage walking around or anybody else walking around. Just whatever it is, y'all are not taking the necessary steps to be able to get this type of execute. Take across and work step by step. And that's what Mormon did in those final few rounds. They took it step by step. They didn't over-hassle. They didn't stall out. They kept everything moving, communicated effectively as a team how they wanted to situate what the goal of the round was, and they secured those last 3 rounds.
I would say between those last 2 rounds, I think it really came down to 2 gunfights in both the same rounds, or between two of the same players, Exige and Engage. Funny enough, they have very similar names, but you had the Blitz Legion gunfight, which came down to Exige winning it. Then the final round, I don't know what Engage was doing. Exige gets the lurk through spiral, gets the player in sight, then turns around, 180, prones, kills a guy not looking at him at all, despite him just killing his teammate. It was Engage, yeah. That was the gunfight I'm talking about. That gunfight, if Engage is maybe paying a little bit more attention to his surroundings, kills Exige there, it's in a 3v3, they probably can't get Plant down in that situation, because Engage is there to stop it. But because of that, Scary King will lurk in, get Plant down, as Exige is killing everyone. Don't know how he gets the kill, but in the end, I think the timeouts are what came important in that round. You had a timeout from the Unks, 5 rounds in a row. You then had a timeout by Mormon Battalion, Aimkey and Scoob there to coach them through it, say what's going wrong, give them the 3 rounds in a row, win out the game, and the series. 2-1 in the end for the side of Mormon Battalion, and I think that's going to be all from us tonight, as I think the other game is probably going to be played off stream. Until then, thank you all for watching, and that's been us from the Blitz series tonight.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world.